Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.
We're not qualified.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Did you not listen?
Then the hell with you.
Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the 119th episode of Screaming Into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. There's some funky shit going on my screen here, so I'm going to try and fix that while we get into it. But my name is Samiel the Infamous, and joining me is Caucasian Sasquatch.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so have you got anything in particular in line to kick this off with, or can I just hit you with the Cheeto magic?
Why don't we
Do you think?
hopefully we'll have a few other people joining us down the road here as we get along on the show. But yeah, we do have some stuff that I want to cover today. I got a list of things. But that said, I don't see why there's any reason why we shouldn't start with Cheeto magic.
Well, I mean, I can't think of a better place to start myself. Yeah. I would like
to say hello to the chat before we begin, but after that, we're all in. So first things up, we've got Dom with us today. Hello. Also, Dom, I will never, ever say that baseball is not boring. Just putting that out there.
Baseball is objectively boring, sir.
Yeah,
objectively. You could be watching boxing. They have armored MMA now. You can watch two men in tin cans beat each other to death. Baseball's boring.
I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to check that shit out.
Oh, I've got it in my playlist. I'll show you in a little bit.
So we got Zillage with us. Hey, Zillage. Koha Maskist. Hello. How's the new gig going? She let us know last night she started a new job that is got some interesting hours. So we hope you're well. Clue, I see you in the chat there. Hello. Why the hell aren't you on the panel? We've got Aaron Laura with us. Hello. Moving on down. I see John Denicola. Hey man, good to see you. Let's see. I think we've got Ryan from Legion Games. Hello, good to see you. I think that's everybody so far. So yeah, we'll. Driving and streaming is illegal. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that. And no, Dom, no, I never will. It's boring as shit. So, hey, B, good to see you, man.
Dude, honestly, if I was getting head and watching baseball, I would change the channel or turn off the TV.
Yeah.
What's up, Guns?
All right. Hey, Zeron. Good to see you. So yeah, let's get into it. Cheeto magic. Dazzle me, sir.
Oh yeah. Okay. My bad. Yeah. I got it right here. I was entranced by your reading of the chat. I was taken in completely. Skadoosh. All right, so this is and to do it properly, so we can actually do the thing. This is the spells failed on Reddit on r/witches versus patriarchy, which is hilarious, by the way. I didn't even know such a thing existed, but now that I know, Based If True is the name of the channel. They're turning around about 3K subscribers, and they deserve so many more. But basically, at one point in here, we're going to get to the Cheeto magic, but let's cover a little bit more before that. Sam, you're a pagan. You understand that a large portion of what is done when it comes to the old magics is intent. It is representational. It is sort of things standing in for other things because of.
To sum that up a little bit and to borrow a bit of wisdom from Granny Weatherwax of Discworld fame, 90% of this shit is headology.
Headology, yes, sir. That is absolutely accurate. So part of it has to do with convincing other people that it works. Part of it has to do with convincing yourself that it works. And the final small part of it seems to just work. And the methodology behind it is less important in most cases than the actual intent, your drive, your energy, your focus, all into a given thing. It's very much like manifestation.
Or prayer.
Or prayer, yes. These are not unrelated concepts. As much as the Christians want to separate the concept of prayer, and it's just not a thing that can be done. These are what colloquially we call small magics. Mm-hmm. These are the things that you do in belief and faith that you don't even realize consciously. You throw the salt over your shoulder. And in some cultures, that's to sacrifice for those that have come before, the smaller gods, the powerful ones that we don't know of, and to sling it into the devil's eye because he's always looking over your left shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, interpretation holds a lot of freaking weight when it comes to this type of stuff, especially these types of people that are already slightly in the first place.
So I'm curious mostly about the Cheeto angle because I've been around for a minute, you know, in the pagan sphere, if you will, long before I was on the active on the internet as we are now. So there are a variety of goofy fucking things out there, right? So anytime you hear the word mancy or romancy attached to the end of something else, you know, people always think like, you know, oh, it's big magic. All it is a fancy way of saying trying to see the future. It's really it is that all it's ever been. So you got like geomancy, which is reading the future.
Either attempting to see the future or influence the future in some base line, so unconscious way.
Yeah, and Hollywood's done a pretty big disservice to some of this stuff. Like people think of necromancy as actually raising the dead. That's not what necromancy is. Necromancy is just talking to the dead. That's it.
Yeah, they don't necessarily answer.
Yeah, and the theory is that they're beyond the veil that separates us from like being able to see everything because they're dead, right? So they'd be able to know more about what's coming than we will. That's all necromancy is, though, is talking to the dead. It's not generally a good idea anyway, but it's not going to result in an army of zombies or skeletons. You know, that's not.
Don't do drugs, kids. Just don't do drugs, right?
So,
and most of this will go by the wayside. You don't have to consider it, but. Anyway,
right. So the reason I bring that up, though, before we get to this, is that there is some really oddball mancies out there. I forget exactly what the specific term is, but there's one involving reading the veins of mold in old cheese. Right. So
exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. It's largely representational. It has more to do with your conscious attempt to unscrew the inscrutable than it does to what you actually use to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's some weird shit out there, and some of it's so bizarre. But so the Cheeto thing, like I'm on board so far.
Right. It's not off base if you understand what you're actually talking about here. It sounds absolutely absurd, but if in your mind that man is a literal Cheeto, then the manifestation qualities of the exercise actually seem to hold water.
Right.
Anyway, I'm gonna let him. I think I broke my mic. Is that working?
Yeah, it's working.
All right. I'm going to let this cat take a swing at explaining the situation to you. But it's not just Cheeto magic is my point. Cheeto magic was just the part that caught my attention.
Right. So what I'm getting from the context of your words is that Cheeto is a stand-in for the orange man in this context.
Yeah, such a bad orange man. How dare he?
All right. I got you.
All right.
Programmed to be. You can't cast a love spell on someone. Someone casts a love spell upon themselves.
Playing in the realm of magic is not for the faint of heart.
If you had a vendetta against a woman, you could just accuse her of witchcraft. It really just meant death. The feminine was erased from the nature of the divine. Jesus was a full-blown witch.
Can somebody do a curse on you or black magic?
I can see so many in my chat just losing their shit right now.
I'm worse than Lawrence, I'm telling you. Once I figure out what we're doing here, I know exactly where the watering hole is, and I'm ready to poison it. Let's go. Got a whole dead carcass for you. Watch this smell.
On you.
Hello, Internet. Bald if true here, and ladies and gentlemen, these spells did not work. Our witches
Are you sure?
patriarchy is in complete shambles right now. And who do we have to thank other than the Great Pumpkin himself? So without further ado, subscribe, join the First Amendment Discord, and let's get right into it. All right, so here we are. Let's go to the post-election.
There's a lot of this crap.
First, roll up your sleeves, and it has 93 upvotes, 124 comments. This event from the Election Response Center has been shared to build the movement that will fight for each other over the next 4 years. Women's March also doing a mass call. Okay, I actually have to click on this. No.
Okay, so a large portion of this stuff is attached through quote unquote the feminine or the gynocentric universe, right? If you've ever had a chance to talk to some of these, like when you're talking old magic, Wiccans are New Age. Just
Wiccans
to be clear with everybody.
Like 130 years old. That's as far back as they go. They tell you that they go back to like the days of the fucking Druids, which is stupid because the Druids were male led. But
oh, Wolfie has been smuggled in from Bolivia.
Fair enough. That seems,
congratulations, welcome to America. Damn wolves.
But the whole like feminine power thing that and the manifestation thing and Wicca in general, like modern Gardnerian Wicca is very New Age, and they don't like being reminded of this, but it was set up by a man.
Right. Oh God, it's so great. We'll get into him on another show, but what I'm getting at here is there's old magic, and everyone knows old magic, even if you don't know it. You're right. Mm-hmm. You're constantly, like I said, you're stepping over thresholds, not on thresholds. You're not stepping on cracks. You're not stepping on transitions. You put your feet firmly into the square. Almost all of us does this. This is something that just pattern recognition seems to insist on most people, unless you're a wolfie and then you jump up and down on cracks because you hate the idea of superstition ruling your life, and it's an interesting take, but whatever. My point is, it's all representational. Every bit of it ties straight into this New Age concept of equity and individuality and my truth versus the universe. And that whole concept is ripped whole cloth from just the freaking spirituality of the 19th century. It was lifted, in the mid 50s, early 20s.
Right, and you're talking about a period of time where they're like seances were a big thing, right? This was around the time that the Ouija board really started gaining traction before fucking Parker Brothers decided to sell it to 5-year-olds. This was a time where people were so this is post Enlightenment, right?
Right,
so
exactly.
The Enlightenment happens and everybody goes, "Oh, God is dead because we know everything," and then along those lines. Like along that timeline, there was a group of people who just decided that, there's got to be something else out there, but it can't be God because we debunk God. So we're just gonna, go along these lines here. And a lot of them started dabbling in things that have roots in antiquity, but that they do not fully understand.
A Ouija board, by definition, is both necromancy and demonology. And both of these are verboten in virtually every religion ever known to man.
Right. Well, in simplest terms, and I think I've defined it before on this channel, the Ouija board is a key. It opens doors. The problem is that it opens random doors. You don't know which door you're opening when you use the damn thing. It's better not to fuck with the key at all.
It's true. Those doors are closed. They are meant to be closed, and saying things or doing things wrong when in close proximity to such edges can be a bit dangerous. And here's the thing. Here's the real problem here. It doesn't have to be dangerous to other people. Mm-hmm. You can sucker yourself into a thought loop that makes things come true. Right. That should ordinarily not be a problem. But this dude's going to go through and basically show you the verbal spurging of every single witch in the universe right now. Yeah. It's like the force has been hit.
Yeah, real quick before we move on. Carpenter's Journey, Wino Faces. You've seen this guy's face before. Actually, very few people on the internet have seen my face, and they've been kind enough to keep it to themselves. The reason that I don't use my actual camera, my face on the internet is because I work for the government and I say a lot of shit about the government. So it's not going to happen.
Wheel of misfortune, turn, turn, turn. Show us the tragedy we should learn.
Right, Andy?
Away. What the fuck? Let me make this smaller for you guys. How to plug in and resist. Friday, November 8th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Trump's return to the White House is just 3 months away, and we're organizing to resist. Are we going to have J6 Part 2 Liberal Edition? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
This is a chance to connect.
Come on, skip all that stuff. I thought we did that already.
What is get rid of fluoride? I'm scared and angry. I decided
I support that idea. Let's get rid of fluoride.
People who voted for this monster in my life. I lost some friends today who I tried to have a relationship with despite our differences. But this is my line in the sand. I will not associate with Nazis.
Seriously. Finding out that someone voted for Trump.
I don't associate with Nazis either, and I voted for Trump. Just saying.
I mean,
I don't think I've ever met a real Nazi in my life.
I've met a neo-Nazi, and that's a little different. They don't have they're not lockstep with the whole party issue. A lot of these people are anarchists.
They're sort of watered down versions. They're not the full on thing.
Let me tell you what happened to this guy. Okay, so it's like sophomore year in high school. Dude shows up out of the freaking pit of hell as far as anyone concerned. He's skinhead, tattoos on his skull. He's got tattoos all up and down both arms, swastikas absolutely everywhere. And he shows up and tries to talk to everybody. And we just look at him. We're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm over here trying to make friends, man. It's like, yeah. Are you recruiting? Like, what you got going on here? And so he gets all pissy and ends up sitting alone for about a day until one of the local black gentlemen found him and asked him what that symbol was. And he told him. After that, he was carried around, bounced off of buildings, tossed into traffic. Anytime he had to get into a line, they made damn sure they were with him. And it never went well for him. And eventually he moved elsewhere. And I can only hope that activity continued into his future. Because you know me, Sam, I'll sit down and talk to the devil himself if he comes with a decent freaking topic, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I got to do anything about it. Just have the conversation.
And often do. The devil is a regular on this channel.
Yeah. That being said, I sat and talked to this guy in the library for a couple hours one afternoon, and homie was a full-blown neo-Nazi. I can't remember the name of the dude that he quoted a whole bunch, but it wasn't the Austrian painter. It was it was somebody else since then that used Mein Kampf as like their template, and it's redonkulous. It is redonkulous.
Or Nazi apologists. Well, I'm glad you have a well-reasoned take on life. Jesus. Sorry, guys. It may have been a little bit difficult to read, but I zoomed in for you. Let's
get your shit together, bro. We can do this.
For ideas for resistance, but it was blocked by mods.
Achio
I guess
waffles.
they're funneling any/all political discussion to this thread now. I've seen some great ideas about stockpiling goods before January, working out to get stronger. Oh my god, dude, they're becoming fucking red pilled.
Right?
Holy shit.
Holy like wow. How could we possibly know if you simply mentally break them that they would fall to the right?
Right?
All they needed was an honest, realistic pushback in reality. That's all it took. And all of their dreams come crashing down. They're completely melting down out there. It must be global warming. There's an awful lot of snowflakes melting.
All their worldview needed was a good deep orange dicking.
Some Cheeto challenge.
Care and bolstering your savings. Why weren't you doing this before? What was stopping you? Okay, now that Trump's in office, I'm going to become a better person all of a sudden. What is the logic here? Which are great preparative measures, but what can we do to be hitting back? I have some ideas, and I'd love to hear yours. Giving 1-star ratings on all misogynistic podcasts.
I'll be
YouTube
looking forward to
channels,
your
and apps.
1-star rating
Ramp
for
up
me.
on reporting posts / reels / YouTube videos for any influencers who are promoting bigotry or hateful speech.
Move on to
Food
it.
chains, Wendy's, McDonald's, CFA. They're
Jesus,
franchise
dude. I didn't like this one the first time through.
labor, and nobody gives a shit, unfortunately. And
Come on,
the way I know that
it's right
is that
there.
they're gonna
It's right
find their
freaking there. Come on, man.
regardless. So I need small actions that make me feel like I'm to include acts of resistance or even spells. How did they work for you last time, honey? All right, sigil practice.
Hold up.
Has ideas, please share.
So the as we explained last week when we went over that ridiculous fucking spell for, like, you know, canceling the red wave or whatever, this stuff, there are very few magic systems and belief systems out there where it doesn't require the target of the juju to also believe, right? So if you're doing this in the quiet of your own home and you never actually fucking say anything, or that person never sees it, like, say, I doubt very much that Trump is like trolling Wicca forums, you know. So if he never sees that shit, he doesn't believe in it anyway, it's not going to affect him. It doesn't work like that.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't lay money on any particular thing that Trump's doing.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
He might be trolling in forums.
Like I said, it's 90% headology. Like you have to actually believe it for it to work. Most of it's psychological.
Exactly. It's almost all headology. And so until you convince yourself, there's no chance you convince the universe. But in convincing yourself, you can become duped by your own conscious bias. And I don't mean unconscious. You want it to be, so it will be. And so when it's not, you don't know what to do.
Right. And it's one of those things. It's like that chick was saying earlier, where she was saying, well, you don't cast a love spell on someone else, you cast it on yourself. And I was like, well, I mean, that's accurate, because you're not gonna win somebody over by, like, you know, drinking a potion or whatever. It doesn't work like that. You know?
I don't know. In my experience, rum's always been highly effective.
I mean, yeah, okay. So there are, except like if you Cosby somebody, it's going to be a lot more effective.
Oh wait, no, we're not going that far, bro. Like, I don't need a pudding pop. I'm just saying, like, no Diddy. I mean, you know, a couple of drinks in the car is what I mean. Like, we can even do it in the car. I don't mind. It's just not the pudding pop.
You put the pudding in the pop. Oh, I apologize, chat, for that terrible Cosby.
Oh my God, we got to get you to do more freaking imitations. We got to get you to do more impressions.
Yeah.
I'm
working on them.
You're not bad at them. You just need to do them. Do them.
Hear what you have been doing. Oh man, I can't wait to see the protests begin. Oh man. Oh my God, they're doing a voodoo with a cheap.
Ladies and gentlemen, Orange Man bad. This is how you do magic.
Is it?
As long as he believes it, it's magic to him.
So I will say this, and I've talked about this on the show a number of times. Voodoo works. Voodoo doesn't give a fuck if you believe in it or not. This is a fact.
Right.
However, just saying this Cheeto represents Trump without actually, like, just because it happens to be the same color as this fucking spray tan doesn't connect it to Trump in any way. You need to have something that personally identifies Trump. At least stick like a little fucking photograph of the man's face on there or some shit like that, or get a lock of his hair, whatever. But you can't. It's just a random Cheeto. They're not going to recognize that as an active.
Stop.
Anyway.
Pause. No. You just said something very important. I think needs to be covered. They're not going to recognize it. Who are they?
Yeah, them. The Loa.
Yes. Those wandering spirits of the universe that may or may not have been human at one point.
Well, the Loa are gods. They are specifically lower gods who have no problem fucking with mortals because they have nothing better to do.
The low gods. And if you try to convey this into a Christian perspective, which admittedly is impossible.
Well, there are tie-ins. So Voodoo has
they would
some
view
basic
them as the higher demons, the more I don't even know the term. Like, they're not evil in the sense of being evil. They are so alien to human thought that you would misunderstand what they're doing as being evil.
Mhm. Yeah, but this right here, this is some invoking Baron Samedi shit. You do not want to do that
Yeah, this ain't cool. This is
because
not.
then you've
See,
got his attention, and you do
yeah,
not
see,
want that.
those guys pay attention. They will come and say yes. It's like saying the word Pazuzu too many times in the D&D adventure. That fucker
Right.
might show up.
Right.
Ito.
These guys put skin suits of
I think
people
that
on
was
and cosplay. You know, like they
Yeah.
jump in, like possession's like just a fucking pastime for them. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's really hard to get this across, especially to hardcore Christians. And the best way I've figured out how to like get them to think outside of the Christian box enough to conceive of a low God is to compare them to the greater demons that have not been named, right? You're talking in equal to Satan and equal to Gabriel and equal to these other Elohim that have not been named. They are simply other powers in the multiverse that sit around and wait for somebody to accidentally say their freaking name or do something that gets their attention. And then they get to have a little fun.
I mean, I get it. Eternity's a long time to have nothing to do.
Right? Or doing the same thing over and over. And
Yeah.
we are queer little animals. We are strange and unusual. And I believe we might be the best freaking entertainment that God has to offer. All right, let's check out the next one that I had. It's I think it's that one. Yeah. Back that up just a hair.
For the sake of creativity, pick whatever you think would be fun to be remembered as. Oh man. Lose the shackles. No one's whore. Teared up on that one. Scared of your body, my choice. Scary misogynist chant. Really scared. Thank you for your poem. This brought real tears to my eyes. It's the very first thing I've read that made me feel energized and ready to fight on instead of hopeful and numbness.
Okay, that's another feature.
Hopeless.
The hopeless numbness they speak of is called apathy, and it's been there the whole time. The difference is they've been actively fighting against it with a hypothetical goal in their life, which was to elect Kamala Harris so that their weird progressive policies will be propagated into the future. Donald Trump is everything they hate. I mean, physically in the universe, emotionally in the head spaces of these people, he lives rent free. And it blows my mind. I used to laugh at the concept of Trump derangement syndrome. I don't. That man has driven these people crazy. And if he was guilty of anything at all, they have done so many deep dives into his past from so many different angles, utilizing so many different like literal intel agencies. And every single one of them says, oh no, he's dirty. We just can't prove it. Oh, I have a theory there. If he's dirty and you can't prove it, then perhaps he's not as dirty as you believe. Your beliefs seem to be informing your information instead of the other way around. We've lost Sam, which means I have unlimited power. Actually, I can't press any buttons. So it's going to be a very boring show at this point.
Numbness. Wow. I don't know why I'm doing this job if I can't even fucking read. Face shape feminization before and after 5 months. Oh, face shape feminization before and after 5 months HRT. No makeup, no. Oh, God. Oh. Okay, we're gonna move on.
All right, boys, smash or pass.
The homies, various transgenders, sodomites, apostates, and critical theorists. Another day, another simmer pot. You know, these are actually pretty good. All right, they actually do.
I disagree. I find these annoying, and oh yeah, this will do.
Anyway, this is certainly why you lost. I don't have words right now, but my soul will settle and my tears will dry. So rest tomorrow, for today we rise.
That word is tomorrow.
Lord.
Reps today.
Yo, this
for
is what my
tomorrow,
hair is gonna
Russ.
look like in a few weeks. Holy shit! I'll go full Asian. I'm only half Korean, but I'll be going full Korean once my hair gets to that point. Witchy sisters, my heart is hurting. We must build a wall. This is how it's come full circle, ladies and gentlemen. This is
All right. So what's the irony here of these weirdos requesting the building of a wall? How does this happen? What's up, Knack? Got a bunch of people in chat. Well, who are you people? Why are y'all here? Who are you? Yeah, love it. 20 likes. That's nice. I'm gonna do a dramatic reading of this. Let me wait until he gets his freaking
how it
cursor
shall
off.
be made from the earth.
That'll do. This is how it shall be made. From the earth cut many stones, as dark as pyre smoke, and cold as the grave. Stack them high as the maternal death rate, then far and wide as our grief. Oh, and yet I fear, even so, there cannot be enough space for the sisters, daughters, wives, the mothers, the aunties, the nanas, and gigis, for the women and the girls, for the names of those who died, will die, are dying, at the hands of violent men, by the word of bitter law, with the permission of those who did not vote. Can't read who wrote it.
Earth cut many stones, as dark as
Carter Reary, I think. Carter Henry. There you go. There you go.
wide as her grief.
Hopefully Sam will
and
be
yet I
back
fear,
soon.
Even so, there cannot be enough space for the system.
That's pretty much all I brought, unless you want to hear some more liberals like just crying into a bucket. Because I've got the buckets. I've got barrels and barrels of liberal tears over here. It's a thing. It's totally a thing. I think we could like distill out some actual copium if we put together enough liberal tears and then distill it. What say, Lou? Who we got over here? What we got? We got Shameless. I can't click the buttons, damn it. It makes it impossible. This makes it difficult at best. Yawn God. Oh, your internet has completely kicked you. He claims he will return, but that is an empty threat. Yeah, witchcraft and disorder go together. Ben T, good to see you. Postmaster. What's happening? She'll slip your punches. I really dig that name. I'm giving you a participation trophy immediately. North Alabama Cryptid, Mr. and Mrs. Knack. Welcome to the show. Appreciate it. Justin Thompson, good to see you, bud. What say, Lou? I use liberal tears to make your coffee. See, I use it to sweeten my coffee because I like the taste of fluoride. Okay. But you got to be careful. If you drink too many liberal tears, you're liable to become a liberal. Let me explain how that works. You see, liberal tears have a lot of soy in them, and soy blocks the pickup of testosterone inside the male brain. And so if you're red-pilled as I am, and you drink too many liberal tears, you might start having purple thoughts. Welcome back.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. For those who don't know, my internet sometimes decides it hates me.
Yeah, it's those evil gods we were talking about before.
Right. So it is what it is. And I do talk a lot of shit about things out there that could definitely put the hurt on me. So
One consideration, if you were to call up Ishmael and give him his $5 back, that might help.
Yeah, he's never getting that money.
So where do we go from here? Soy and salt. Yeah, that's the modern magic.
Right. So yeah, first of all, catch me up. What did I miss while I was out?
Homie went over a couple of other like silly people. A poem. I did a dramatic reading of a poem. You can go check it out later. It's horrible. It's great. I got messed up in the middle because of the words. The things that person was saying like almost tickled me. But apparently, because Donald Trump was elected, they're going to have to build a wall of bodies just like out of 300. to protect themselves. I think that's where it was going. I'm not sure, really. I thought Donald Trump said he was going to protect women whether they liked it or not. I approve of this concept.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a bunch of people who are losing their shit over nothing. That's this is one of the things we were going to talk a little bit today was about the kind of clean sweep everywhere outside of fucking Arizona anyway.
Which makes me want to look at Arizona real hard.
Right.
I got another one. We touched on it last night. Apparently, there's actually a bit of a movement building behind this concept of finding our lost Democrat brothers and sisters from the last election. We've got to find these people. They are missing. They clearly need help.
I'm telling you, dude, they don't exist.
But if they don't exist, we should prove that so that a FEMA doesn't have to keep looking for them.
Right.
Because they're Democrats.
Yeah. No, I figured because last week when we were talking, the election hadn't happened yet. We were sitting there, edge of our seats, biting our thumbnails and just being like, hopefully this goes the one way, but I could absolutely see it go in a whole other horrible direction. And I was pleasantly surprised this week on Tuesday. I was right there with everybody else, just like sitting on the edge of my seat, waiting to see how it turned out and shit like that. And holy shit, did people turn out?
I totally went to bed early, bro. I didn't even make it long enough for my state to get called. I was like, I drank me a pint of rum while I was live with American Justice of Texas, and when I got to that point at the end of the show, I was like, yeah.
Dude, my state was called 43 minutes after the polls closed.
Wow. See, that's what I'm thinking right here, man. This feels like the steel was on. They realized it wouldn't work anywhere. Mm-hmm. And all the plugs got pulled on all the mechanisms because the wave has been absolutely insane. It's crazy. You would never in a million years expect some of these districts to swing red.
Yeah.
You cannot blame all of that on Trump. It's not Trump. It's the Democrats themselves. It's their policies. It's how hard they tried to push a cabbage.
Well, dude, I brought this up last night on Beelzebub, man. Those of you who've been around know I live in Wyoming, right? Wyoming is the Trumpingest, votingest state ever for the last 2 fucking election cycles, probably 3, but the numbers are definitely there for the last one and this one, right? Now, Wyoming has 2 very blue areas, right? They're not large, but they are definitely very, very blue. One of them is Jackson Hole. Jackson Hole is where the Cheneys have their property. It's where Harrison Ford fucking lives. It's where all those Hollywood fucksticks live. Right. It's very, very, very blue. Hey, Static, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Greetings and salutations.
I'm here to dunk on some slack-jawed people.
All right. The other area is Albany County, which is where Laramie is. Laramie is the home of the University of Wyoming. It's got people from all over the fucking country in it. It is chock full of liberals. It is chock full of left-leaning people. It always has been. Right. These are the only 2 blue areas in all of Wyoming. Even Albany County.
Has anybody
was
checked into the bellwether states, the bellwether counties?
No, you know what? I totally meant to look at that. I never did.
Let me see if I can find it.
Never got around to it. But that was the amazing thing. Like Albany County never votes red, but they did this time. It was only Jackson Hole, only the commie fucktards from California who went blue in Wyoming this time. That was it.
How do commie fucks find themselves in Wyoming?
Land's cheap here. By comparison.
Right, but like I don't know why they would, like, they're all like, they hate that, right? Like they're like, they hate the big wide open. They want to be around where like all the shit's at.
Right. Well, you got to have a place to get away. Like Harrison Ford lives in Wyoming. He's lived here for fucking decades. For instance, he was like among the first of like the mega stars to buy plots of land out. He actually has a ranch, but everybody else saw how happy he was out here, just living his life, smoking his dope, and not giving a fuck about anything but his paychecks. And And so it's like, hey, we want to do that too. It got trendy. It got trendy. The same way anytime some rural or small town area all of a sudden gets like gentrified and blows up, and then all the locusts leave, and they leave all these fucking high ass property, prices behind them, and all that shit. It's the same shit. It just happened to stick in that one area of Wyoming. So, and it's pretty close to the Idaho
They're
border.
being slimy with their language over here, bro. So this was published after the freaking election, right? And it says this is Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Washington, and Pennsylvania. And the counties themselves are Door County, Kent County, Vigo County, Cullum County, Erie County, Northampton County, and Bucks County. And those are your classic bellwether counties. However, all but two of them, apparently, if I'm reading this right, all but two of them chose Trump to win, and by a huge margin. And the ones that didn't choose Trump to win through their election results were only went Kamala by a couple of percent. Like,
What states were the ones that didn't go Trump?
it's not specifying. Hold on, let me finish reading.
Real quick, Jan, God, you put a lot more faith in me than is warranted, I think. No, I work in local government, man, not federal. But it's
That's what I
enough
thought
that I
too.
got it.
That's what
Yeah,
I thought.
it's enough that I still got to keep my. So we have in
Oh, you're
local
a
government.
fucking Fed, aren't you?
No, not at all.
This whole time,
but,
Sam's the glowy.
Door County
find
and
out.
Kent County. I think they're both in Michigan.
Yeah.
Kent County, I think. is in
Door
Michigan.
County, Wisconsin, and Kent County, Michigan. Yeah, and they're the two that went Harris, and they
How
only
close to Milwaukee? Or I mean, how close to Detroit is that Kent?
I have no idea.
From what I hear, a lot of Detroit actually voted red this time around.
They were still, so I don't know how much you guys are paying attention. Like there was still waiting to. I'm pretty sure they were waiting to figure out how many drops they could make. Like we watched the 150,000 drop in the Philadelphia district happen.
Mhm.
Like all of a sudden, she just gained 150,000 votes in Pennsylvania. In
Bro,
the
I'm in Georgia.
Philadelphia.
I'm in Georgia. The last election, we had what I refer to as a Biden bump, where around 3 a.m, several 100,000 votes just popped out of the freaking ether, and there were quote unquote mail-in ballots, and there's a busted pipe, and don't worry about it.
Yep.
We're going to stop counting, but we didn't stop counting. We just sent everybody home, and there were no people watching the election.
A busted pipe in a giant arena where there wasn't anywhere else this could have been done. Or was it on the other side of the arena from where everything was happening? I know they weren't using the whole damn thing to fucking count ballots.
Welcome to Georgia, bro.
That
We
was
call it the lost city of Atlanta.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just right now. Things are looking up. I know that there were always going to be holdouts. There are always going to be little strongholds and shit. That's never going to change, especially since the typical blue areas, the typical places where people vote blue, tend to be highly densely populated, right? So you're gonna see shit like that, no matter which way an election goes. But I don't know. It kind of looks like a lot of people are just sick of the shit from the previous, or the current rather, people in charge. Which is a good thing, because even if you guys out there, even if you don't like Trump, you don't like the way that he does things or runs things or wants what he wants to do, the fact that there can be change from something that it seemed like there couldn't be change from is a good thing, because that means it can change again. It's we're not stuck down this trajectory, right, of destruction. We're not stuck on any given path. If we don't like the way things going, we can alter it, and this fucking election proves that, even if you don't like the way it's going now.
True. What blows my mind is exactly how invested a lot of these people are in a hypothetical, right? It's not just their politics. Their politics don't bother me so much. It's the way they apply their life around their politics rather than having their life determine their politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I call it the academic thought process. Once you fall into academia, you have to adjust your thinking to accept everything that's around you, the people who have tenure, the people who hire and fire in academia. And if you're not thinking and speaking correctly, you don't get those jobs.
Right. I think that as a nation, we focus entirely too much on the goings on in Washington. Like that's become in the last, call it 8 years, 12 years, whatever. That has been like our focus. It's sort of replaced baseball, which is a boring fucking sport, as our national pastime, is being invested in these fucking people, in these politics.
Football has far exceeded all other sports at this point.
Yeah, I don't care. I was just making a point.
I'm just baseball has not been the number one sport in a very long time.
No, but it still bears the nickname America's pastime.
Yeah, but it's gay.
Yes, it is. So is football, though. Like, if we're gonna be honest, like 22 dudes in tight pants playing grab ass for 4 fucking hours, super gay. You know?
Lingerie football is fine. You leave that alone. The rest of them I can live without.
As a matter of fact, there needs to be an executive order about lingerie football being a 9-month season.
Right. So, yeah. Well, I finally understand why getting rid of the Fed fixes everything. Yeah, hey, no problem. It's a good thing. It would be a good thing, honestly, because number one, and this has been a point I brought up a number of times, and I'm not the only one. Lots of people are saying this shit, but that's because it's true. Federal elections don't matter as much as local ones. Everything starts at the local level, right? Everybody that you see in Washington, good or bad, all of them started as a councilman, as an alderman, as a little mayor or a city commissioner or something like that. They all started at the local fucking level. If you don't like your local politicians, you don't want to see them making big sweeping changes that affect everybody across the fucking world. You have the power to stop that before they ever get there, right? Pay attention to your local shit. That's what matters.
And remember,
I failed this year. I was going to start like a separate YouTube channel specifically just for investigating stuff going on the local level around here. I think I'm with what we're experiencing now with the possible election shenanigans happening again. I don't know why Arizona can't seem to know how to fucking count, but there's some weird stuff. And I'm looking at the House count right now on Decision Desk, and it seems like every single county that they're still counting is leaning red on the representative, except for one, maybe two. That's two, yeah, because those counties get really small in California. But anyways, they are dragging ass on counting these votes in California, Arizona. There's one county in Colorado, and for some reason, Alaska.
You know what it is? I know what it is. I think I just figured it out. They counted them up, came up with a Trump win, said that simply can't be right, and going back through it again. There's no way.
Yeah.
Well, they took forever to give Alaska to Trump, but yet they were so quick with like California to give California to Kamala, right? And they were like nowhere near close counting.
I mean, and that was kind of amazing given that Alaska's population is only a little bit larger than fucking Wyoming's is, and ours was called within an hour of the fucking the polls closing.
Well, I mean, okay, imagine you're sitting there counting these votes, right? You're going through and you're like, all right, at first you're really, really particular. You're like, wait, did they say Trump or Trump? Oh, we're not going to count that one. Trump. Does that say Trump or Trump? Nope, we're not going to count it. Trump, Harris, Trump.
Well, yeah, there was misprinted ballots of all sorts.
Yes.
That were going out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think this has been going on the whole time in every one of these Democrat strongholds. And I'm sure the Republicans have their own ways of cheating, but the Democrats really seem to have put it down to a science. Like they've got a downright method on it.
I have a feeling that every election from now on is going to come down to whoever harvests the most. That's all it's going to be. It's who's going to be the Scott Pressler this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That guy needs a statue, bro.
Honestly, Scott Pressler needs there's an award that they give civilians that's like that Congress gives civilians for like exemplary like service to their country or whatever. He needs that fucking trophy.
Yes. Agreed. I nominate immediately. How do we do it?
Well, give him whatever. Trump should give him whatever award that Obama's given Ellen DeGeneres and shit.
He should take it from Ellen and give it to Scott.
There you go. Give him Ellen, Tom Hanks, fucking who's the other douchebag that got one? George Clooney. Like, fuck all those people. Scott Pressler should have all their fucking awards.
I mean, you know, speaking of erroneously given awards, I mean, if Obama can get a Nobel Prize for being president while black, then can't Trump get one for being president while orange?
Bro, that's deep. That's
what he got it for. He didn't actually contribute to anything positive in promoting peace,
right?
Which is what the prize is fucking for.
Historic peace treaties ever.
They gave him that after he bombed a fuckload of brown kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Name someone Obama.
And Americans.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, and which by the way, his whole platform, his whole race shtick that he ran on, right? That did nothing but promote division, right? Like, how do you get a peace prize for that?
Well, look, that was the same thing that Kamala did.
Yeah.
Kamala ran completely on identity, and it failed.
And changed her identity. See, the reason Kamala failed is she never actually achieved any type of a win anywhere in her career as far as being voted in. She won a single Senate race, and it was against another Democrat, if I remember right. The rest of them were all against Democrats. She won a nomination against a Republican somehow, or something like that, back when she was in California and doing that whole thing. Captain Curmudgeon walked me through all this stuff one time, and I was utterly astounded. I'm like, so you're telling me the Democratic Party hasn't voted for this chick once? He's like, no, some people have voted, just, not for president.
Right. And for context, the Nobel Prize was created by a guy named after Nobel. I forget his first name. I want to say Alexander, but that's just because I'm thinking Alexander Graham Bell, Nobel. Anyway, but if I remember correctly, he was the gentleman who accidentally, while he was trying to do something else, he discovered TNT. Right,
Alfred.
And and after his application was then used in to fuck people up. I mean, obviously it had other applications like putting tunnels through mountains and shit, and mining and all kinds of stuff. But it was used in combat as well. It was used against human beings. And he was so fucking horrified by this that he gave up a bunch of shit, and he created this prize to encourage people to invent or create or promote or in some way contribute to people not killing each other. That was the entire fucking purpose of that prize.
You ever heard of the Christian gun?
Huh?
There was a guy. Right, he was a contemporary with Nobel, with Alfred, and he invented a Gatling gun type device that shot cube-shaped bullets at heathens and round bullets at Christians. Because you got to consider their religion before you shoot them, apparently. I don't know how you could tell when you're over here using the Puckle gun, like they're 50 yards over there. Hey, are you Christian? No? Okay. I don't get it.
I mean, Yeah, the thing about bullets is they don't discriminate.
You're right. Equal opportunity destroyer, baby. No,
Yeah,
it's the police. The YouTube police have showed up. Everybody put up your stash.
Okay, hands up, don't shoot. No, welcome in, dude. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm pretty stoked though. It's been that like I've said before. And Static knows this. Like I am not 100% on board with Trump like I was 4 years ago. And it's not that I'm against the man at all. I think that he could do some great things, but I remember how it went last time too. And
the man didn't find a spending bill that he didn't ever fucking sign.
That is true. He also even a lot of the good stuff he was trying to do got blocked by people who were supposedly on his fucking side,
Right.
over and over and over again. So like I remember all that shit from happening last time around, and I am not sure that he is the best possible person to have in the office of the president of the United States. However, of the choices, I will take him over cackling Kamala any goddamn day.
Well, I can see cackling Kamala being led by the nose ring through anything they want her to do. I don't see anybody influencing Trump beyond his own freaking brain pan. I'm good with that.
Yeah, except what it is, what comes down to Trump is that there's a very good chance he's easily manipulated by people that he trusts.
So let me ask you this, and this is for both of y'all. Last time Trump was in, he was basically fighting against a blue Senate?
And Blue House the last 2 years as well.
Right. So he's in there with a full red wave right now.
He had a full red wave his first 2 years.
I was gonna say, he started out that way the first time around too.
Paul Ryan fucked him.
At Pence, but what do you want? Here's my question. Let's say Trump goes through with the Headsman Acts and decapitates all of these government entities that are running around. He takes out the director he points his own people into every single one of them, which is not possible. But if you decapitate these entities, and I mean that metaphorically, simply taking out the head guy and firing him, sending him to go work for NBC or something, I don't know. Aren't their replacements going to be almost exact clones? Is it going to change anything?
So, okay, like we're going to have RFK as our Secretary of Health or whatever instead of the tranny we have now, right?
Sure.
He has a chance to actually make some changes with how the current FDA and all that crap is being ran. I do think so. Trump's come out and said that he's going to put an end to the Department of Education, but yet we got a picture of Betsy DeVos possibly on his cabinet again this next go around, and I don't know how she feels about that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm with him on it. Fuck the Department of Education, but yeah, it kind of depends on the people he puts in place to deal with these things. And like RFK being the Secretary of Health, I'm more than happy to let him take those reins because he actually seems to care about whether or not we're fucking healthy. We hyper processed fucking food products, GMOs, fucking fluoride in the water, like whatever else they tell you about fluoride. I ain't necessarily sold that it makes people fucking susceptible to brainwashing.
You know what? So
health.
I spent some time with Grok talking about fluoride
and
the fluoride in the water. And it all boils down to poor people who can't afford toothpaste or go to the dentist. That's why we have fluoride in the water.
And it doesn't take into account any of the most of your studies done on fluoride are involved in overdosing to an extreme extent in most of the studies I've found. And yes, it does have a detrimental effect on cognitive capability long term.
And I have a dentist who's like, you don't need fluoride toothpaste.
No, you don't. You don't.
Need
fluoride
so
of any kind.
I'm a cheap bastard. The dentist I go to is a student in school. This is what they're telling them in the school, that you don't really need the fluoride toothpaste.
Yeah. Does this student speak English? I'm just curious.
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay.
Most of
I
the
had-
people I've worked with have been actually white and female.
I had a student work on my mouth one time, not a lick of English, and it was a goddamn nightmare. I felt like I was in fucking one of Mengele's labs.
I think where I go is like the biggest dental school in America.
Yeah. So I mean, this was years ago in Colorado. So yeah, I've never let a student touch my face again.
No, actually, so my first dentist, she's actually my orthodontist now. She was amazing as a fucking student. I was like, it's kind of sad that you're going to go on to orthodontistry because you're really, really good at this dentist thing. And I feel like that's more of a refined skill than orthodontistry, you know, like.
Right.
Well, Sam got hooked up with Sweeney Todd, so like.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
He just doesn't.
But back to my point with RFK. Like I said, I think he'd be great for the Department of Health, for the as a Secretary of Health, as long as he stays in that niche, in that lane. I don't want him fucking with anything else.
Well, and Trump said that. Trump's like, and he's got a joke where he's like, now you can't talk about the oil, Bobby. You got to leave the liquid gold alone, Bobby. You can do the health stuff, but we're doing the liquid gold. We're going to drill, baby, drill.
Yeah. Well, so are the dentists, apparently. Drill, baby, drill. So, yeah, but that's kind of my point, is like we obviously, we don't know 100% who's getting appointed to what yet. There's a lot of speculation out there. A lot of people think he's going to be pulling Gabbard, Ramaswamy. Musk is already supposed to be heading up. This kills me too. Is like, I get what they're trying to do with what they're calling the Department of Government Efficiency, which, by the way, I think is a joke, because that acronym is Doge, as in Dogecoin.
Yeah.
That's Elon trolling.
Yes,
but whatever.
He did
but,
that.
Yeah. Well, dude loves his puns, and I don't hate the fact that he loves his puns. I like puns. I just think that a lot of people are going to miss that one. But if he gets put in charge of what they're throwing about there, right, to slim down the fucking 3-letter agencies, to curtail them, to put them back on a fucking leash at the very least. My preference would be disband all of them. But
the FBI was started with an executive order.
Yeah,
exactly. It can be ended with an executive order,
right? But I'm trepidatious a little bit about the solution to government bloat and bureaucracy being more bureaucracy.
Yeah, no, that is one of the issues I have with government in general. Government functions much like an organism, and anything that threatens it will have a response of more government.
So, okay, I agree. Do you guys know that Elon and Trump are gonna have a meeting with Javier Milei this week?
No, but I am now looking forward to that. Javier Milei is my fucking hero.
So, like, yeah, there's conversations happening, and personally, I've got two things that I'm really looking forward to over the next 4 years as a more political centered content creator. One is daily correcting the media and their fucking lies, because that's just going to go up even more, and that's always fun. And then the other thing is, I'm going to have a list of these promises that Trump's made and the things that I really want to see, and holding his feet to the fire about what's actually happening is going to be really fun. Because a lot of these like if he doesn't come through and not be able to get rid of the taxes on tips and overtime, I'm going to consider that a failure.
Fair enough.
And you know what? Those things don't even apply to my life. I don't get paid tips, and I'm salary. I don't get overtime. But I think those are two huge moves that actually create more of an equal playing ground for this country.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
I mean, I'd be happy if we don't all go to war. That'd be good.
Yeah, well, okay. So yeah, there's that as well. Not get actually these wars ending, but I have more faith in that actually happening just because of what we've seen.
Yeah, well, like just you're right though. Static. There's been so much fucking rumblings around the world since Tuesday, since or Wednesday morning.
Pull up one of the list of things that have happened since then that I've got bookmarked.
I've got some off the top of my head, man. Fucking Hamas is calling for a ceasefire. Fucking Keir Starmer is sucking up to fucking Trump. Fucking Germany's economy fucking collapsed.
Russia said that. No, Europe said that they're going to start buying U.S. gold. Russia said, U.S. oil.
Yeah, Russia said they're not dropping the U.S. dollar.
Yep, Russia's going to continue to trade in the petrodollar.
Yeah,
and then they also said that the Democrats were going to kill the dollar.
Yeah, well, they're going to try. They've been trying, and
well,
so
both
far
sides have been trying until Trump. Both sides have been trying until Trump.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing: is he isn't even in office? He's president elect. They still have 2 more months of the Biden administration. And lest we forget, it is in fact the Biden administration and not the Kamala Harris administration. But he's not even in office, and the fucking stock market's took an uptick. You know?
Right. I could explain what that means to me, but ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a capital gains tax, you should shut up about a capital gains tax.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. One of the weird things is, why was Zelensky on a phone call with Trump and Elon?
Because he wants his money.
Right, but what does Elon have to do with that?
Probably not much, aside from the fact that okay. So Elon did drop a bunch of fucking Starlink over off in Ukraine.
There's that.
Well, beyond that, I've got another theory attached to why Elon's being brought in like this. Twitter is the world's stump. Every single person in the universe that wants to be heard on Twitter goes to Twitter. That is the biggest platform for this type of news, shenanigans, and manipulation, and all of that. If anyone has a peek behind the veil of what's going on in Twitter, it should be Elon. Mm-hmm. And if you want to know what's really going on, removing all the filters and all of the BS from Twitter and having a full wild link to it would be a really good way of being able to smoke out any kind of shenanigans.
So, did you guys see the tweet that Elon made really early on election night saying "game, set, match"?
I saw a screen caps of it. I didn't see the actual tweet.
He made that tweet about 3 hours, maybe even 4, before 270 was hit. And there's rumors out there that he had his own little app that was tracking everything, and so he knew before everyone else did. And that's why he actually left. He left Mar-a-Lago early.
I think there might be something to that, but also, like, the Vegas odds were going Trump's way like a week before the election too. Like there were indicators that it could have gone that.
There was a part of me that it did. There was a part of me that was wondering if those Trump numbers weren't getting inflated to buffer the back end. You know what I mean? Like to help the House.
Maybe.
I hear you, but given the fact that we still have 40 million missing Democrats, I don't see it.
But yeah,
20 million missing. Yeah, we need to find these people. They might be in danger. We need to save them. FEMA, get to work.
Dermy said something great the other night. For once, he's like, what lives in the back of my mind as people talk about these missing votes? All the empty buildings that Crowder went and found that were attached to voters' addresses. And I was like, what? That's a damn good point. That's a fun.
Me too. It's been haunting the back of my head too. I just hadn't said nothing about it because, YouTube don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, last time around, Crowder and his team did a lot of really good work, fucking exposing some of the shit that was going on. Like, if I remember right, some of those addresses weren't even buildings; they were just like spots under underpasses.
Yeah, they're empty lots,
Mm-hmm.
like just nothing.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not certain. I'm uncertain as to how the future will roll out, but I have less dread than I did after
Same,
this week. So that's good.
because we know we're gonna
Right.
get oil.
Well,
That's
if I'm being
huge.
perfectly honest, dude, I'm a goddamn pessimist. I keep expecting the fucking core of the earth to explode at some point, right?
We're
So,
actually
like,
together on a
I have
bet.
that shit hanging over my head.
No, we're together on a bet on whether it's an asteroid or the Earth's molten core. Which one gets us? I'm with the
Oh,
asteroid myself.
Or a combination of the two, whatever. But the point is like I keep we're constantly living with this expectation that something fucked up is going to come and throw all of our lives into complete chaos and disarray forever, right? At least I am. I can't speak for everybody in the world.
So
This lifted
yeah.
a little bit of that off of my shoulders this week.
Well, that's good, I guess.
That's for me. That's excellent. I am the eternal pessimist. So yeah, I'm happy about that. But in addition to the election news, which is obviously all the news because it's affecting literally everything in the world, like with Germany's economy collapsing, that's going to directly affect the viability and continued lifespan of the fucking EU itself because it's all tied to Germany. Which will change the power dynamics all throughout Europe, which will change everything about what's going on in the Balkans with the Ukraine Russia thing. Plus, if they're talking peace now and all that, everything's going to fucking change rapidly, and it is. There's so much shit going on in the world that I think people miss on some of the little things, and I'm going to bring up one of those little things here now because I did promise we would be talking about some stuff that wasn't necessarily politically related today as well. So, you guys hear about this shit?
I did.
Yes. Listen, I vacation about 15 miles from that place. I'm getting me a monkey. I'm going to get me a monkey.
Theo Vaughn said it was time to pack up the truck. He was like ready to go.
To be fair, these are not like wildlife preserve monkeys. These are fucking lab monkeys.
Yeah.
Damn right. I'm getting a monkey.
Like we don't know what kind of weird ass mutations or diseases they're carrying.
Hell yeah, I'm getting a monkey. I'm so proud of this. I just want to thank everybody who made this possible, including whatever idiot it was that left the key in the lock.
Right. So to cap off here, there's a chief nerd here who posted this, put a little excerpt of the article, which he didn't link, and I didn't bother to go look up because the headline itself is fucking hilarious and talk worthy as it is. Dozens of macaque monkeys are on the loose in a small South Carolinian town. Haven't the Carolinas been through fucking
Beaufort.
enough recently?
It's Beaufort. It's not Beaufort. It is Beaufort.
Okay. I don't think it says the name here, but town after escaping from a medical research facility. Residents in Yamasee, a town of 1,000, less than 50 miles west of Charleston, have been told to lock their doors and windows to prevent the primates from entering their homes. The animals escaped at 1 p.m. on Wednesday from the Alpha Genesis lab that tests experimental drugs and vaccines for various infectious diseases and disorders. So that's concerning as fuck.
I'm gonna have a monkey
and AIDS.
I don't care what the monkey has. I'm getting a monkey.
Yeah. Now these are rhesus monkeys too, which are they make pretty good test subjects.
Dude, that is straight out of what was the Dennis Hoffman film? Outbreak.
Outbreak.
Straight out of Outbreak, bro. This is a plot, man. Oh, it's great. I'm getting a monkey.
Well, Suka, that's the thing. They couldn't just have some virus. They probably have fuckloads of viruses. They were being tested in virology experiments.
Details. Just don't have sex with the monkey. You don't have to worry about it. I'm getting a monkey.
Or get bit by them, or
biting you as well. I don't know.
Dude, I'm far more violent than that monkey.
I don't know. These monkeys are probably pretty virile. I'm sorry, I meant viral. No, I didn't. I meant viral.
Both of these are accurate. Don't discount one just because the other lies.
So this happened. I want to say this happened on Thursday or Wednesday.
Yeah, it was
actually, yeah, I think that tweet was November 7th.
Yeah, it was on Wednesday, yeah.
So is this
I haven't heard a damn thing about it since.
Is this a protest by some blue coat over there? Did they just turn the monkeys loose? Going,
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if it was like clit or something like that. I'm glad somebody got that reference. It's the Coalition for the Liberation of Itinerant Tree Dwellers.
Yeah. And I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Rub my nose on it.
It's a Jay and Silent Bob reference for those of you who missed
it. Stop it. Oh, it's so much better when nobody but me got it. Now it sucks.
So this animal testing company just got $19 million from NIH just in 2024. Not only does it run the lab where the monkeys just escaped, but it runs Fauci's nearby Monkey Island, where 3,000 plus primates are held and 500 a year are sent to NIH and FDA labs and killed. Here's a list of their victims. We're not going to go over that shit, but I think the FDA's got to go too, dude. This is entirely...
Dude, ever since, all right, so something happened a while back, and I've been harping on it for a while, and nobody seems to understand why. When they cast down Chevron deference, they took the ability of all these agencies to interpret their own mandates, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to go by the letter of the law as written, and a lot of them have not stopped overreaching through their interpretations, right? So that's going to take a little while to kind of peter out. But in order for that to happen, you have to have an administration in place willing to stand against the new interpretations of mandate.
Yeah. On the one hand, like this whole scenario is fucking terrifying because, like, first of all, how did 40 fucking monkeys escape? Somebody, like, the odds are somebody let them out. I think you're right about that. I think some fucking protester went in there and was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be testing on these monkeys," without at all considering what those monkeys might have been subjected to or carrying. I would remind you guys that 28 days later started pretty much this exact same way.
Eat that thought is gross.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. This is the rage virus in that case.
Yeah,
but I don't think they're wanting to create a rage virus in this case. I think they would be happy for any particular person to come across them. And I'm going to get a monkey.
Well, that's kind of the other thing. Like, a bunch of monkeys got loose, man. This week's been wild.
Yeah, right, dude. I don't know who's been developing the AI that we're using, the interface that we're actually instant. But the writers of this plot have really upped their game.
Yeah, it made me think of that line from Firefly where Mal's trying to figure out why Kaylee's not in the engine room. He's like, "Were there monkeys? Did some terrifying space monkeys get loose? Maybe
terrifying space monkeys get loose, right? No, they get it back together. Come on, girl." Terrifying space monkeys, right? I could just see some chick with purple hair and a nose ring screaming, "Fly, my pretties, fly."
Yeah. Andy, I'm not gonna lie, part of me is looking forward to the end. Part of me has been looking forward to the end since I was a very small child. Then I had kids, and it sort of changes your outlook on things, and I don't really want it to happen like immediately anymore. But that there is a little part of me that is looking forward to it. Yes. Why do you think I live so close to Yellowstone? So, anywho, crazy monkeys getting out and about and all this shit. Like, I just wanted to bring this shit up. This is some of the.
Did you hear the other thing in that article? Did you hear the other bit that was important? I think we missed it all. I caught it, but we were talking. Monkey Island.
Yeah, there's that. Like, and this run by Fauci, Anthony Fauci's Monkey Island.
We just went right over that. Nobody said a word about it. They were more concerned about the ones that are quote unquote escaped.
Given what we know, Sorry, go ahead.
Has Monkey Island showed up on Rand Paul's Festivus list?
I don't know. I don't. This is the first I'm hearing about it. You know?
Oh no,
Like, I didn't know there was a Monkey Island.
Nah, dude, Monkey Island's been something like I'm in the southeast over here. I'm only like 300-400 miles away from the place. We go over there on vacation, but we go right through that area, right? I've been hearing legends and myths of this mysterious Monkey Island out there. It sounds like something you'd find in like a Plato or Aristotle. You know what I mean? Referencing freaking Atlantis or whatever. It's always spoken like behind the hand. You know, I hear a few monkeys got loose from Monkey Island, and I'm like, where is Monkey Island? I don't want to go there. I just want to go point at it and laugh.
Well, here's the thing: is like Aaron Laura brings up the island of Dr. Moreau, right? Given what we know about Fauci's, some of his gain of function experiments involving beagles, for instance, right? Like, who knows what he's doing to these things out there? And it also kind of puts me in mind of a certain little Epstein Island too, but with monkeys.
I guess you could build a weird sex dungeon there with monkeys.
All right, so that's how you do 28 days later, literally. Not trying. Yep. This is not a how-to manual.
It's just, it is what it is. I guess. I don't know. It just, the monkeys shocked me this time. To paraphrase Peter Gabriel.
Oh no!
See what I think I broke squad. Oh no. You take out like his like big toes to make the fucking Reese's fangs or whatever.
Right, you're just digging for the end, bro. Like, okay, nah, I'm good. We can do this. I don't even know what to call you. What are you, void pilled?
Yeah, pretty much.
Black pill's bad, but you're beyond black pill, bro. It's like nihilism pill or something. Void pill would be my, I think that's it.
Void pill is good. Yeah. Nihilism still implies picking a side. I'm thinking.
That's why I immediately corrected. You know, there has to be something for nihilism to apply. That's not what we're going for here.
I got my days. Yeah, there's some days where I'm just like, yeah, fuck everything. You know what? I hope the sun gets fucked in the ass.
I have the terrible thing that people are better than what we think they are. Like the natural goodness and humanity. I like to think that it's there, but yeah. It's very well hidden.
Well, there's your problem, sir.
I think there's more good people on this planet than there's bad people. And I think
that explains everything. That's why you're so disappointed. That's simply not true. And so you're disappointed in the world every day.
I don't think it's that simple. I think there's an equal potential in each person. Now, this is 8 billion people, 8 billion chances. There's an equal potential at any given moment for that person to either be good or evil.
So you know what? That's actually interesting. Because there is just RNG, right? Random number grouping. And so what I actually have a real life experience of this. So I create automated test scripts for a website. And one of my tests of the thousands that I have selects, there's 5 choices, and I have it set up to make a random choice of any of the 5 options. The third one is the most often picked. And so it averages everything out. On like a scale of 1 to 5, everything averages out to 3. And it's just completely random. And I've got, I don't know, I'll say about 50,000 bits of data for this one test. Which isn't a whole lot, but it's just a practical experience that I have in RNG.
No, fair enough.
This is weird.
No, I
Sam.
just
Check
think
this
that.
out.
Look,
My
look,
I got a guy hold on a second. I got a guy in my chat named Yawn God, and I've got my chat up on 3 different devices. And on 2 of the devices, he doesn't show up, but on my phone, he does.
Do you have your phone set to live chat or
all messages and live chat on both sides? The computer, he's not there. Well, I mean, he's there on some of the chats, but like the monkeys that when he mentions monkeys, it doesn't pop up. When he says something about an intentional release, it doesn't pop up. And I don't see any of this over here. The last thing that popped up was does Samuel believe in aliens, and the rest of the monkey conversation just isn't there. That's weird. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, you're right. There's probably some shit at play there. I know that YouTube is changing their fucking UI as we speak. Like there were some changes today that I don't fucking care for at all, especially on mobile. But I noticed a little bit over on the computer side. So
another thing is this on YouTube on my computer that I have 23 people in chat, and over here it says I have 13 people in chat, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's
if you're gonna that's pretty normal. You're gonna get different results depending on which device you're looking at, and sometimes you got to refresh it because it doesn't always keep up with the current count for some reason. So. I don't know. Yeah, it happens to me sometimes. Some channels I don't show up on PC, but I do on mobile. Sometimes only live and on top. I don't get it. Yeah. And then there's also the active censorship where you'll type something in the chat and you'll see it, but nobody else will. Doesn't matter what platform they're on or what device they're on. Kind of shit. That happens to me all the time.
Yeah, ordinarily I just overlook it because it's only one slot where it's missing, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't do anything about that. But in this case, it was wiping it on my computer feed and on the StreamYard feed, but not on my phone feed, which is weird because usually it's the phone that gets wiped. In my experience, I mean, anyway, monkeys.
Yeah, shock that monkey. Fuck, I miss TLC. Get that monkey up off of my back.
Stop it. Oh God.
Dude, she was a crazy ass bitch, but the world is poorer without Lisa Lopez. Just saying.
Very well then.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
Well, we got robots. This is going to take a second to bring up because I got to
robots.
Bring up the video for it. Yes, more robots. I talk about robots frequently because they freak me the fuck out. No,
I want one.
All right. You want one of these Japanese fuckers? All right, let's see.
I just want one that will like dust, vacuum, and do the dishes. Like that's all I need. Like otherwise, fuck off.
Yeah. Well, these are closer to androids, or as they keep calling them in this video, gynoids.
This creepy ass shit. No, they need to look like a piece of machinery, not a human.
Right. So this video is from a channel called Motech. Do some interesting stuff. There's it's an interesting channel. I'd recommend checking them out. But I want to give them credit for this because we're gonna take a look at their video here. So yeah. Let's. This is kind of a countdown of like the scary like number of these things. This video is a year old, by the way. I just discovered it the other day. There's no volume.
I don't. You've got it muted there.
Yeah. I'll turn them up. There you go, bud. Almost like a producer, bro.
I'm trying like hell. This is why I need Gal. God damn it.
The idea of humanoid robots has been around for decades, but with this ever-evolving world, this idea as of now is not just an idea.
I'm Chloe. And
yeah, that's Chloe.
So
that looks animated. That doesn't look like real life.
Right. But we
all right.
You get further in, and they are starting to look more and more like this.
But there are two sides to this equation. You have the physical components of the mechanism that creates a lifelike human anatomy, and then there's the mental components that are implanted into that mechanism. Whether or not the mechanism is actually capable of housing the computational source that's necessary to run an actual AI will determine how effective this stuff is in the future.
Well, you're also talking about the difference between AI and AGI.
Right.
Right.
Kenzo
And AGI is fucking terrifying. You know, they tell us it's not a thing yet, but I don't know that I believe them because they're the same people who say they want to make it happen.
And you, what's your name?
When I said that looks animated, that whole scene looks animated. Like that's some shit.
Yeah.
Animated fucking chair and everything.
Well, we lost Sam. They got him. It was the aliens. They come and get at him.
It was the robots.
Yeah, it's robots. AI, AGR. Yeah, those are the ones. Them. No. Crank call. Wrong number.
So El Perro says, actually, AI is about 40 to 50 years away. I think we're closer to 10 to 20. Due to, what is that? What's that law? Where computational processing.
Yeah, Moore's law, isn't it?
Moore's law, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, they've been saying for, I don't know, maybe like 5-10 years that Moore's law has actually slowed down. But that doesn't mean we couldn't be on the brink of something where it speeds it back up.
Have you ever read any of the old Asimov texts?
No.
Okay, so Asimov went really deep in this concept, and he hypothesized that there would have to be a major upgrade in computational capability. And what he referred to that as was a positronic structure, right? He called it the positronic brain. And part of the 3 laws that you hear about in a whole bunch of places involving AI and stuff was directly lifted from his concept of what the positronic brain would have to look like for it to be safe to operate amongst humans.
Yes. All right. So sorry about that, folks. They got me again.
You better be.
I'm not that sorry. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, Suka, it was I never played it, but yeah, it was a clip. But let's keep going and you'll see what I'm talking about here. All right. As I find the fucking thing again.
But a reality. Stick around to the end of today's video as we talk about some fully functioning female robots released by Japan. Number 6, Grace. Grace is a fully functioning humanoid robot nurse that was developed by Hanson Robotics to assist doctors and medical staff during the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic demanded contactless care and telehealth solutions, which at the time seemed impossible as medical procedures required contact. To assist medical professionals.
See, for applications like this, I can see the use of machines, not necessarily autonomous ones, but ones that you could act through, right? You know, it's no different than like they've got automated machines for like quadruple bypass open heart surgeries now that are like far more precise than any human hands, and they've had them for decades actually, but they don't operate autonomously. There is an operator of the machine. Kind of thing. So I could definitely see that for a situation like this. Now,
okay.
Personally.
So you're saying you're all for robots performing brain surgery?
No, I'm saying I'm all for doctors using tools.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let me explain it this way. When we developed our airplanes in our Air Force, we developed a serious system of aeronautics avionics is what it's called. And these are basically fly-by-wire systems that remove the shakiness of a person's hand. It removes anything that's not beneficial to the mission, right? Same concept in teleoperations. There's a word there. I'm certain of it.
Telemetry?
Teleoperations. Because telemetry is just the correlation of information, but teleometry. Anyway, sorry, getting stuck by my ADD. My bad. these things like brain operations and stuff, if you can remove the shake and remove the whole deviation from process,
Mm-hmm.
you have a much higher ability to successfully perform any given operation involving extremely small things. It's very much like the avionics package in an airplane.
So, okay. Are you signing up for the beta test?
Hard pass on that. I won't even go under a laser, dude. I ain't doing it.
So, over a year ago, we did an episode of this with Legion Games where he and I discussed that. And there's still a video excerpt of that up on my channel as well. You can go look at it. It's got a picture of Will Smith slapping a Terminator and saying, "Keep your robots out my fucking house," for the thumbnail. Anyway, it's about the one particular robot, which I think they bring up here, Nadine, which was designed to basically be like a companion or a bingo caller, even in like fucking nursing homes and shit. And it's designed to look and sound like its creator, who, if I'm being generous, she's a very plain looking woman. Just saying that. So, and I think Nadine gets brought up here towards the end of the video as well, but in a different capacity. Apparently, they've been manufacturing these since then and using them for various applications. I would also argue that the number one application of any new technology that comes out, right, is porn.
It's going to be sexual based. That is why they're working on the physics of making a human animatronic, is what it comes down to. They're going to worry about shoehorning the personality in there later, or just skip the personality entirely.
Right. Well, look at it like this. So this was something that we brought up back then. If you were to put one of these humanoid looking things, and it looks, like a kind of a frumpy middle-aged woman in an old folks home, right? That's like a 10 in an old folks home, because everybody's fucking wrinkly as shit, right? So this thing might be the bingo color, but I guarantee it's going to be spreading syphilis around, because, fun fact, old people don't stop fucking.
Right.
Right.
It's
check
actually
out the villages in Florida.
The STD rates in your average retirement community are unbelievably high.
And you wouldn't figure that, given that they're always going to the doctor, right?
Well, they're always going to the doctor because you keep breaking a hip in the shower.
Yeah. And then they find out they've got syphilis and have had it for 15 years.
So I'm like, first of all, you're introducing a brand new technology to people who are probably not going to be as willing to accept this as a thing in the first place, because as we get older, we tend to be less accepting of change of any kind, particularly in technological ways. There's a reason that older people have problems with newer applications, but younger people cotton onto them real quick, right? But the other thing is somebody in that old folks home is going to start that ball rolling. They're going to fuck that bingo collar. One or the other. It is. This is where this is going. Like, they're talking about all these like cool applications for this. Well, there were all kinds of cool applications for for the internet too. But what's it mainly used for? Right? Porn and cat pictures, and mostly porn.
And pirating movies, because I like that.
Yeah, that too. But like statistically, it's porn.
Well, yeah, I just realized the name of this video you actually have here. Japanese releases fully functioning female robots. So
yeah, they don't actually cover the sex angle in this, weirdly, but
I don't think that's weird at all. I think that's an Americanization. They were just like, yeah, you can screw it. We're just not going to say it out
loud. Young God, I am neither. I am anti-robot.
He's neither, because he's currently a porn addict.
Well, I might be a sex addict. That's possible.
Yeah, that's the issue.
I haven't looked too deeply into that particular set of neuroses, so I don't know.
He bothers me every single night, people. I can't keep him calmed down. I mean, he just gets so...
Whoa.
I mean, sometimes I don't even wake him up.
That shows you how small it is. Don't mess with me, man. Don't do it. It ain't worth it.
Is it in yet?
Never mind. Put it back in the dirt.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Knows in this. Hanson Robotics created Grace in 2021. Grace's Asian features, collar-length brown hair and skin.
Yeah.
Why does she have to look 12?
Why does she have to have expressions?
Well, you know when she doesn't like it.
Okay. The only reason they make these to look like humans is so you can fuck them. That's the only fucking reason that they're doing this. It is not to give them some sort of humanity or whatever. If they served a basic service like washing the dishes, like I said earlier, you would just have a piece of equipment. It would not look like this. This is to be fucked.
Facts.
Although that expression kind of implies that this was programmed to mock your genitalia. Like, really?
People are into that.
It looks like it's seen horrors, in my opinion. Seriously.
Yeah, it's seen things.
Made from unique material called rubber, which mimics the look and feel of human skin.
Yeah, so that's a real
honestly,
thing, apparently.
This thing looks like it just got back from Epstein Island.
Right?
I mean, and I hate to put this on my my Japanese fellows out there, but honestly, right, the reason it looks young is probably because of Japanese culture. Like, there's a very high emphasis on younger looking women than not younger looking women, and there is a reason that a lot of the anime has these supposedly underage girls looking like they're bursting out of their tops. There's something to that culture.
I had some weeb try to explain it to me, and it was like, oh, but they're a very poor nation, and all of their children are in dresses that are too small. And I was like, bitch, you're a pedo.
What?
Shut up. No,
that wasn't a weeb. That was a lolly. Fuck that shit.
She tried to tell me that the reason that all of the anime show little girls spilling out of their freaking uniforms is that their uniforms are issued and they're never issued the right size. Dirty old men issued the uniforms. That was the approach he was taking.
Yeah.
I just told him to shut up and go away. I wasn't talking to him anymore.
Right?
Grace has a...
Look at these other fucking things behind her, though.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel.
Like, looks like that little Albert Einstein mustache looking one. He looks like he's going to kill her.
Actually, that's the guy who built her.
No, not the guy in the back. The little doll in the front.
Oh, the little one. Oh, my God. That's straight out of Black Devil Doll from hell, bro.
Look at that expression on his face. He's looking right at Grace. He's like, yo, fuck this bitch.
The taller one has her in a hole in the ground, telling her to put the lotion on the skin.
Right.
A thermal camera installed in the chest that helps in taking the patient's temperature and measuring his responsiveness.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's
looks
straight
like
up
a
out of Big
Fallout.
Hero 6, but it's not a bad idea.
Looks more like a scent out of Fallout.
This does, yeah. But I mean, like the thermal camera to take temperatures and shit like that. That's I mean, I don't know if it'd be 100% accurate, but it's a pretty good idea. It's better than them sticking putting the thermometer in like the left index and having them stick up your ass.
Well, I don't know. It depends on what kind of freak you are, but you should get into that.
So
I mean, it's not my bag of tea, but
Right.
I just looked into what Zilge was saying. Heard that Mar-a-Lago has robot dogs. That seems to be the case.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They have robot dogs patrolling.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that myself, but I know that that robot dogs were in the works to replace police forces, especially in the light of the mass exodus from that particular profession during 2020. These things don't have consciences. They've got 4 legs. They can run faster than us, and they can be equipped with rifles. Yeah.
And you could probably just slide it into drone mode.
Well, what's funny about that, it's funny that you mentioned that Mar-a-Lago's got those. So Trump is a New Yorker, right? It was New York that was building these things.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's where he got them.
No, they're Russian dogs.
Last I heard, they weren't fully ready to go, but they wouldn't tell us if they were, would they?
Well, it's like this, man. You'd have to have a test bed to put them somewhere where they wouldn't encounter the public in general at first, because the public's going to screw up anything you turn loose to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So robots can't have periods, ATL.
So
shut the
I guess so. It looks
Careful,
like
sir.
the main reason for using them on Mar-a-Lago is to detect bombs and chemical threats.
Okay. What with their sniffers?
So that the official said the dogs can be outfitted with technology to detect bombs and chemical threats, and features cameras with thermal technology and high-res zoom capabilities. It's also to blackmail videos.
Yeah, too. But no, I'm just curious why they wouldn't use like real fucking dogs trained to sniff for that shit, because their noses are unparalleled.
Yeah, they don't really say specifically why. They just say that that's something that they can do. They've got the Coast Guard out there already.
I guess you don't have to fucking feed them and take them to the vet or anything. There's that.
Just got to remember to charge them.
Yeah, pretty much. Do some basic maintenance on the ball joints.
Bro, you know good and well we've got lawn care robots that go and charge themselves. There's nothing stopping these dogs from backing up to a plug-in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why didn't somebody use that? I set you right up.
Why didn't somebody what?
Backing into a plug-in? Come on, somebody could have dropped a line. I mean,
I didn't have one.
I'm telling you guys. So there's a Russian show you can find the first 2 seasons on Netflix. I don't think they're going to make a third. It's called Better Than Us, or Люди Лучше Чем in the Russian, and it's about this kind of thing. It's about robots being like an aspect of everyday life and all that shit, and all of them are programmed with like Asimov's 3 laws, and it's about one particular Chinese-built model that is totally unique, has this insane learning capability, bonds with people, and has no Asimov's laws programmed into it that goes fucking haywire and attaches itself to a little girl and fucking starts wreaking havoc and shit. It's a great fucking show, but they do back into charging like they back up and they stand in the space. They just back right up into it.
For a dog, I'm thinking wireless charging pad where they just lay down. Like it looks like a dog bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can put the plug in the ass if you really want to, but I'm going to have questions about the person who did that.
Yeah, I use a similar product for my fucking phone. I don't see why it wouldn't work for a robot.
Yep.
Stop it. We're trying to make the future funny over here, and y'all are ruining it.
It's what we do, baby. It's what we
do.
Imagine
I'm really good at ruining shit. You can count on me for that.
And there's your house bot backing its way into a plug. It's like,
right.
Come on, that's
like rubbing. It's like rubbing its ass on the ground trying to find it.
Or if it's in the shape of a woman, you just like you just make the charge port in the shape of like a dildo or something, and she just plugs in.
Just make the charging thing like a condom or something.
She's out of juice. Better go plug in.
You've gone beyond me, man. I'm not permitted to speak too much farther on this. We'll get shot down, bro. I swear to God, we'll get off the reservation.
The female robot actually charges like those flashlights that you shake.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like in the show that I was referencing, they actually have like sensors in their feet, and they stand in a specific place where they run current through. Kind of deal.
I've
So
seen
it is
that.
sort of like
pretty good show.
pads. Yeah, it is. It's very good. Very good character work.
I actually accidentally I think it was on Roku or something, and I had turned it on like that morning, and it was through in like episode 4 of whatever that is, and I had to back up, start it over, because it wasn't that I was confused. I just wanted to know how we got here. Right? It was telling the story quite nicely. I'm like, wait a second, where did this chick come from? Oh, okay.
Mindfulness exposures here is saying it runs on you, Static.
Well, yeah. Static electricity, sure.
Yeah.
You need more lube, sir.
Like, come sit on my charging port. Anyhow,
I'll talk to Diddy, see how he arranged those purchases.
Down, boy. Down.
Functioning humanoid robots can diagnose a patient and is capable of communicating in English, Mandarin, and Cantonese. I can do all kinds of things for elderly people.
Which is interesting considering it's a Chinese or a Japanese robot, but whatever.
No. I can visit people and brighten.
I'm sorry, I'm reading this and I'm just like, no. I can do all kinds of things for elderly people. I can visit people and brighten their day with social stimulation. Not this generation. You're going to have to wait a couple. Otherwise, you're just going to freak them the fuck out.
Right? Like, can you imagine something like this showing up to a dementia patient?
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
That...
like how badly that would go.
I'm so torn on that. Like, I want to see it because it would be fucking awesome, but yet that could be traumatic for that person.
Very, yeah. It's like, not to mention, if they're convinced that the people around them aren't fucking real, this would only give cause to their argument.
Their day with social stimulation. But I can also do talk therapy, take bio readings, and help healthcare providers assess their health and deliver treatments.
Can do all kinds of things for elderly people, take bio readings, and help healthcare providers assess their health.
It has natural human-like features that make it comforting for the senior patients who feel scared or anxious during medical checkups.
So I think that's a bullshit statement.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not gonna comfort people who are already freaked out. The uncanny valley is a real thing, folks.
Even if they aren't freaked out, like they're just there to get their fucking blood pressure checked, like.
I think you're all off base. I think it's just built to like do the friendly reach around while the rest of it takes place.
Oh,
calm as can be, bro.
Got to get that index in for the temperature.
Well, that ruins the whole blood pressure test.
You know how much information can be taken from a load?
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair. Just analyze the poop.
Hold on, I've got to do this now. Don't nobody interrupt. Jizz Man in Space. There you go.
It doesn't get old, man. I don't know why.
Because it's great. It's absolute solid rolled gold, baby.
Oh, yeah, Andy. This does seem like they borrowed a few ideas from Big Hero 6. Probably. I mean, yeah, I don't know. How much of that they did, but yeah, because Baymax has a lot of these same features, except he's fucking fluffy and cuddly and friendly looking, and not looks like something that might turn on my family, like an angry toaster.
Yeah, he's like
Gracie's stated
the Asian version of the Stay Puft I was gonna say he's like the Asian version of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yep.
The art AI can help express emotions, adding on to its human-like abilities. CEO and founder of Hanson Robotics, David Hanson, demonstrates these unique features of Grace that makes its interaction with humans more impactful.
Hey, Grace, why don't you look at my face?
And I'm going to show you a smile, and let's see what your smile looks like.
She's perpetually on the verge of crying.
Sad. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Reacting a little sad if
it's those big-ass anime eyes. They got to make them look as, I don't know. Because they look like they're painted to look wet, though, right?
All right, I'm not sure if I would find the pupils dilating on this thing more or less creepy.
Well, yeah, that's the camera lens trying to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Suka, you're right. Their eyes don't blink all the way. That's one of the reasons that I think the Zuckerberg is one of them. But they don't really need to on account of those not being actual eyes that need to be kept moist either. So Oh man, these fucking people on there. I mean, this is creative as hell, but I only see this ending in disaster down the road.
If I feel pain, and then maybe imagine a big loud noise happens. Bam. Number 5, Nadine.
This is the bingo color. Now apparently they don't talk about that in this video. They talk about the other possible applications, but yeah, this is the one that we brought up a while back. Zillage should remember this. I like to call her the chlamydia farm.
Nadine is a gynoid modeled on the late computer scientist Professor Nadia Magnanet-Thalmann. For those of you who don't know what a gynoid is, it is basically the female equivalent of android.
And I got to point something else out here too. Is like, while android means man-like, it doesn't mean man-like as in has a penis. It means man as in the species. Humanoid.
Just wait, sir. There's going to be 100 million John Holmes running around here.
Oh, I fucking know. But it's just so like the terms like gynoid that's just fucking basic identity politics bullshit. And to be fair, this video is a year old, but yeah, that's just fucking dumb. You know, neither the male looking ones nor the female looking ones are in fact actually male or female. They're because they're machines. They're not people. They're not even living organisms.
Robots. Just like Grace, Nadine also has human resembling hair, natural looking skin, and realistic hands. It is a gynoid social robot that is capable of interacting and communicating pretty well with humans. Whenever Nadine meets a human, it greets them, makes eye contact, and responds well to their questions in several languages. It is also capable of showing facial expressions and gestures, adding to its interaction.
I mean, of all the faces they could have put on one of these fucking creepy ass things, they had to put one on that looked like the cat lady that might bake you into a fucking pie.
Yes. This is like fucking The Witch and Hansel and Gretel. Like,
right?
It's modern.
Okay, wait. Let me get this straight. A bunch of Japanese guys got together and decided to build a robot. And they made it look like your freaking librarian.
Not just any librarian. The librarian who, like if you have an overdue book, you're going in the basement.
Yeah, the one who smells like cat piss.
Yeah.
Right.
Keep you chained to the radiator and beat you every day until you learn your lesson.
The one that's counting the days to retirement.
Get that thing a box of wine. She'll be fine.
My guess is they all lost their virginity to a much older woman at the same time.
Holy shit. I didn't even think it. It does look like Jen Psaki a little bit. Yeah.
Dress is what does it, bro. We'll circle back to that.
Circle back to this chlamydia. Oh, that's good. That's a good observation, Suka. I never would have made that on my own. I wouldn't have connected the two. But yeah, it does look like a more realistic Jen Psaki.
Abilities. Nadine has been programmed with a personality that allows it to change expressions based on different responses. It can express a total of 27 facial expressions and upper body movements that it uses to interact with humans. It can also recognize previously interacted humans and recall the conversations they've had. Nadine can...
That should be concerning.
Not in Japan, but here we have the whole, protection of privacy and whatnot. Once you close the doors and windows in your house, you cover them up. You can't be filmed from inside if you don't say so, right? It's your place. About this, is this accepting the documentation of your private life?
No, it isn't. Because I'm watching this show called Elementary. I know I'm a few years behind and all that shit, but there was an episode recently where the characters are, trying to solve a murder, and their main witness is a sex bot that was in the room at the time that apparently does exactly this, records everything it sees and hears as long as it's in the proximity of its owner, right? The catch was the only person who could access the memory was the person who had been murdered, because it needed like a voice and facial recognition in order to, respond to this person, sort of like an imprinting, if you will. So they had to trick it into thinking that the investigators were the owner. And so every time they asked her the question, because it was a sex bot, they would be like, yeah, did the such and such thing happen at such and such time, trying to figure out who killed this person who was into sex bots. And it would just be like, no, I can't recall that. Would you like to fool around? It was the weirdest thing. But I mean, that's kind of the similar sort of
I used to
angle
date a chick like that.
Right?
That was her answer for everything. Any questions was, so you want to fool around? Yes.
I mean, yes. That just shut me up.
There
real
was
quick,
limited conversation, but lots of activity.
Yeah. So this is I do have a kind of an issue with this though. Like are they storing this information? Are they recording it? Are they transmitting it back to some other entity, like for instance the manufacturers or a third party, that kind of thing? Like there are problems with an application like that.
Assist individuals with special needs by reading them stories, displaying images, etc. Nadine is also the first humanoid robot to work as a customer service agent at AIA Insurance Company in Singapore. It also entertained over 100,000 visitors during the human.
Look at that paw. Because I couldn't in good conscience call that thing a hand.
We can take that to the slap competition.
Yeah.
Slap fight to the victory.
Yeah. This is how you know it's a transsexual robot. It's got man hands.
There it is. You know what? It does look like a man.
That's the clincher. It kind of looks like our Department of Health leader.
Yeah. Well, in respect to what Suka said earlier, Jin Saki kind of looks like a man too. So whatever.
I'd still hit it with a couple of drinks.
Right.
The Future of Our Species exhibition at the Art Science Museum.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I probably would too, because if she's willing to fuck the country that hard, think what she'll do for me.
Damn right. I wouldn't say it out loud, bro.
In Singapore. If you think Nadine is impressive, wait till you see Ada has to offer. Number 4, Ada.
Resident Evil 2, anybody?
That's another dude.
Yeah.
Right? You see that cleft in the chin? Terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Just like Nadine, Ada is another human.
I mean, at least this one, it's got like mechanical arms, like no skin on them.
I'm okay with that.
Humanoid robot modeled on a human. This time, it is the late mathematician Ada Lovelace. Ada Meller released Ada to the world in 2019 as a fully functioning humanoid robot capable of generating art. The humanoid houses algorithms from computer graphics and artificial intelligence that allows it to make drawings, paintings, and sculptures using its mechanical arms.
You made a copier.
I was going to say, that's not art.
This brings up kind of an interesting side topic, because there's been, as I'm sure you guys are aware, and I'm sure the chat's aware, a big argument about whether or not AI should be, considered, the AI generated art should be considered art and that sort of thing, and what that takes away from people who actually physically make their own art and all that stuff. And they don't address that directly here. But they do mention that they had it do a self-portrait, which is kind of interesting. Because while it's still drawing from outside references, those outside references, like anybody who does a self-portrait is drawing from outside references.
So what you're saying is they made a broken copier?
Yes. Yeah,
it's not art because it's still just programmatically being developed. It's not.
Sure.
It's no more art than Minecraft. It's like procedurally generated art.
So I and I'm with you on that. I would argue that that for art to be like true, for it to be true art, there's a component that machines simply don't have, and that's the soul. Right? They don't have the seed of creativity. They don't have, like, because like, while we can copy down things too, we're very capable of that. I mean, just look at inkers in comic books. But we're sorry about that, inkers. I came off a little harsh, but anyway, we can also create things from within our own mind that have no outside references, right? And the only way that we can do that is that there's a part of us, an intangible part of us, that is not, like directly tied to external input, right? Whereas everything that a robot or an AI can come up with has to be externally input first. Yeah, they can put it together in all sorts of different ways, and they can create, like, even my avatar is a creation of AI. But it was drawing on outside sources in order to composite this image, right? So it's not really a true creation,
right? Like, yeah. I've been using AI to generate thumbnails here recently, and I don't consider myself an artist. I just make it do things that I want it to do that I can't do necessarily with Photoshop. It's just like, I just got an idea. Let's see what this does. If it's close, I'll use it.
Right.
But I don't think that makes me an artist of any sort.
Every time I try to use AI for any form of art, it always comes out super duper creepy.
Yeah. Well, or it comes out wrong, or it's like you end up like choosing the thing that's closest to what you had in mind, even if it's nowhere near what you had in mind, because there's only so much you can do with that. I'm not Shad, I don't see it as a tool, like the same way, but I'm also not necessarily against people using it. People like myself, for example, creating this avatar, because I didn't want to take the time and effort to try and perfect a drawing I was never going to perfect anyway.
Well, like remember that thumbnail I made for when you were on my channel?
Oh yeah, that was great.
That was AI.
Yeah.
I just took your avatar and put it over the red moon. And that was friggin' badass.
I mean, like Suka's pointing out, Jizzman is an AI creation. I mean, the concept came from our brains, but the actual,
I'm not sure if the word "came" is proper. It was more.
I think it's the exact right word, Sasquatch. I think it's precisely the right word.
I sit befuddled and corrected.
Jizzman sprang forth from our very minds,
like the forehead, like from Greek legends.
Yeah, like Athena, only gooey.
Yeah, and in space.
But anyway,
which I guess
actually
in space, but whatever.
Yeah, but the images that Suka provided us with were AI generated, right? They turned out okay. They turned out pretty good. But there's only so much you can do with that. Like if I were to go and like pay, I don't know, like I'm thinking of some dead artist like Henri Matisse, although I would never go to Matisse because fuck Impressionism. But where to go to some like canvas paint artist, right? They would probably be able to give me something that was a little more precise to what I was asking for than the machine would. And that's because I firmly believe that the toasters don't have fucking souls. And yes, I'm going to call them toasters. And yes, I don't care if that's racist. And yes, I watched Babylon 5. I watched Battlestar Galactica.
Toasters, yes. They serve a function. And the toaster is a perfect example. It only serves one function, and that's how these things should be. But they're not. They're trying to make them replace people so they don't have to have people.
Yeah.
Ada caught the attention of the world during a public appearance when he drew a self-portrait using his robot arms and camera.
I mean, it's a bit of a mess, too. Visually.
Well, I mean, if you look at it logically, you can see the interpretation of lights. Like, it obviously has a thermal camera. It obviously has a UV camera. It obviously has certain detectors that we don't have, and therefore it is utilizing that part of the spectrum metaphorically.
Sure. But it's I mean, this is the first time I've ever seen seen a machine do a self-portrait either. This is kind of a novel thing. But yeah, it's definitely out there. It's definitely different. I'm just glad that the arms aren't, covered in skin, because then we can. I mean, the skin doesn't quite look really. Do you remember in the Terminator when they started talking about how the 600 series had skin like this and they were easy to spot? It was only the 800 series that had realistic human skin because they grew it in a fucking lab.
Yeah, they grew a bio skin over it.
Mm-hmm.
But why even bother putting skin on the head then?
I'm gonna do it one more time.
Blowjobs.
That's why we would use skin.
You just hope that she doesn't cradle the balls too.
Here's the thing: at 2 a.m. in a bus station bathroom, does it really matter?
It does if she's gonna stick those pointy ass things in your sack. Like, you keep in mind, this one doesn't have hands. This one has fucking drawing implements on the end of its arms.
Sir, we are not here for kink shaming. Move on.
I will absolutely kink shame the fuck out of you. You know that.
I know. It's great.
The camera built into Ada's eyes was programmed and developed by computer AI researchers at the University of Oxford, and the drawing arm it uses was developed by undergraduate students from the University of Leeds. To enhance its painting abilities, Ada was equipped with a new painting arm in April 2022 that enabled it to paint using a palette. Apart from just creating art, Ada can respond to many questions through its way. When asked whether it can paint using imagination, this was the response. I like to paint what I can see. You can paint from imagination, I guess, if you have an imagination. I have been seeing different things to humans as I do not have consciousness.
I mean, at least it knows.
Wait a second. Is that not a level of self-awareness to state that it has no consciousness?
You can program that in.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can program all of this in, obviously.
You don't even have to program it. All you got to do is plug it into the fucking internet and let it learn speech patterns.
True.
That doesn't mean it has a consciousness.
That's true. Here we out, bro.
Number 3.
Shut up.
Gia Gia.
This you had to say that as the geisha looking one comes up on screen.
Just hear me out, man. Listen.
At least this one doesn't look like a child.
This one's special. Gia Gia is the first human language.
I stand corrected.
Robot that is nearly identical to a human being. It is especially designed to follow every instruction given by the human fluidly. It has a wider range of expressions that it can use to communicate with humans. It uses artificial intelligence to scan the person in front and communicate directly with them, just like a human.
It's a cold reading in machine form. That's what that sounds like to me.
Well, they were saying the same thing about the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was doable.
Unless you, I mean, some people like a crier. Like,
all right, brother. You got me there.
It's always better when the stripper is crying. Little Bloodhound Gang callback.
Yes.
We just need to program in a few. We just need to program in a few David Allen Coe songs. I've got some suggestions.
Right.
About Gia Gia is that it expresses more freely than other robots. Its eyes move freely all over the room it's in, and the
dead
Eddie Pickle and that sideburns.
Well, kind of. A lot of Asian chicks do too, though. So.
lip movements are almost in sync with the words it's speaking. During the press conference, someone from the audience tried taking a picture. Gia Gia responded, "Don't come too close to me when you are taking a picture. It will make my face look fat."
Definitely a sex bot.
See, all right. So the issue here is we're getting the whole feminism programming put into it, along with the useful head bob procedure.
Is that feminism or is that just basic bitch Instagram shit?
Isn't all basic bitch Instagram shit some level of feminism, though? I mean, honestly,
I think it's some level of female.
I think it's basic level female, and then, for lack of a better word, maybe this is right on narcissism.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we're programming narcissism directly into our fembots.
Well, okay.
I'm going to need some headache medicine.
There's a little bit of narcissism in all of us.
Yes, but that's not an us. It's a them, sir. I hear you. It does not follow.
So okay. So you're just the general idea of them having human responses in general.
No, I mean, if they want to say no, I guess they can, but I own them, so I don't know where to stand on this.
Well, okay. That's.
I hear the gears grinding. It's not a happy feeling.
That's an interesting point, and I think it comes up in a little bit because one of these robots was actually granted citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, fuck that! Really?
Yeah.
Can it drive?
It's a woman. Of course it can.
Probably not. So
Asian.
That's the thing. It's like even these machines that are clearly programmed, right? How long is it before they gain citizenship status? I mean, we gave it to fucking corporations. We're 2 seconds away from giving it to fucking man's best friend. Why wouldn't we give it to robots too?
Well, because that's an extra thing that they can program to vote.
Right, but I mean, not just in the U.S., like worldwide. Like there's going to come.
Hence Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Which is so weird. Because you'd think that they would insist that it have its head covered, or at least be a male, presenting robot.
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so don't.
Yeah.
$1 says one of those guys walked in and hung a dildo around its neck and said, "You're free to go."
Yeah, I suppose beheading it wouldn't necessarily affect much of its functionality.
Right?
Depends on where they put that processor.
Right.
It took a total of 3 years for the team behind Gia to complete it, but according to them, the gynoid can be improved and updated for an improved model. The team is hoping to fix and improve some features such as the hands. They also want GSG's hands to look less.
Looks a bit like Lucy Liu in that angle.
Yes, sir. Sasquatch approves. She'll smear that damn thing down in P. Diddy sauce and motorboat it all night.
No.
Are you saying no to the idea, or no to the image that's now in your head of Sasquatch doing
Saying
that?
no to the P. Diddy sauce.
So many layers of offense.
Mannequins are more like a real woman's hand. GAG also lacks expressions, which the team aims to add in the next model and hopes to make the humanoid more interactive with humans. Impressive, isn't it? But wait till you know about what Amica has to offer.
Okay, so they're talking about giving it more human expressions and whatnot. You want to know what's one of the hardest things for a video game to pull off?
Micro expressions.
Teeth.
Yeah, too.
Like, could you imagine that thing giving a toothy grin?
I could, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
I read in one of the, I don't remember which robot it was. I was reading the dossier on what it can do and everything, and in it was one of the programmers like footnotes stating that we should eliminate all smiling that involves teeth because it always looks feral. And I was like, that's interesting, and that stuck in my head.
Yeah. Yep, Suga, it does. It looks like it's right out of iRobot, which I think is kind of the point. Some of these are designed to look like things that we're already familiar with, so it makes it to be an easier, pill to swallow for those of us who are against it, like myself. Problem is I watched those fucking movies, and it doesn't end well for the humans. Just saying.
Next up is Amica. Amaka is a hyper-realistic humanoid robot that truly showcases the potential of artificial intelligence. It was created by a UK-based company named Engineered Arts. Amaka has human-like facial features and body and is powered by a strong AI that allows it to communicate.
What do you think of those chompers there, Static?
Right.
Yeah.
Can I bring in Vicky for my monster on the monster's ball?
I mean, you know, the one upside to, like, you know, face banging a robot would be that it doesn't scrape your junk, right?
Right. Because those are probably just more silicone, right?
Yeah.
It's like an added texture at that point.
Yeah.
And interact freely with the humans. Just like humans, Amaka can change facial expressions and gestures according to the situation. The unique thing about Amaka is that its movements are more livelier than other robots. The humanoid moves closer to a human, which makes it feel realistic. Where most humanoids are limited to move their hands in a limited way, Amaka can move his hands in multiple ways. Amaka's shoulder movements are identical to those of humans. It uses microphones, binocular eye-mounted cameras, a chest camera, and facial recognition software to better interact with the audience.
That's what it looks like without its face on.
And that's what you're stroking on, folks.
Why does it have to have eyeballs?
I'm going to ask. So I watch a lot of reaction channels, and recently I watched somebody who hadn't claims they hadn't seen the original Terminator before, and it gets to the bit after Arnold gets blown up in the truck, and then all of his skin burns off, and he's the metal endoskeleton. And she brought up a good point. It's like, why does it have human teeth? You know?
Yeah. Why does it have to have teeth at all? Like,
well, in the case of the Terminator, the T-800, it has human-like teeth because that was the one part that didn't grow. So after it burns, it still has the white teeth.
Yeah. It's a little off-putting, though.
It is very off-putting. I loved it.
These interactions can be monitored or controlled either using GPT-3 or human telepresence. To do those fluent human-like movements, Amaka has articulated
it's only
motorized
like a
arms,
month away
fingers.
from getting a nose ring.
That's purple hair.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it could just keep the shaved head look. That'd work, too.
Yep.
His neck and facial features. Amaka has grey rubber skin on the face and hands and is designed in such a way that it appears less genderless. Amaka has
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed they were going for an androgyny thing with this.
Yeah. I mean, in the case of a machine that has no sex, right? And I don't mean it's not having sex. I mean that it doesn't have a biological sex, right? That doesn't really bother me as much as the fact that they put a human-looking face on it at all.
Yep, exactly. Like I said 10 minutes ago, the only reason you have a robot looking like a human is so you could fuck it. Yep. There's no point otherwise. This now is just like, this is just weird. Like, I know the Elon robots are freaky looking in their own way just because they look like they're straight out of iRobot or whatever. But like, you know, you're not supposed to fuck one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about Chappie type? Think you can get it there?
Although I am waiting for the day that I get that Daily Mail headline, man's penis ripped off by Elon robot.
I mean, you know, that's the what's that one called? It's called Optimus, I think, or that line is called Optimus because they've got dozens of the damn things now. I don't think Elon's robots are quite to this level yet. I think they're still being piloted by people. You know, from like a laptop or whatever.
Right. Like a drone.
Yeah. So I think he's actually quite a bit behind Japan in Korea in terms of actual androids in Android technology. But yeah, he's getting there. Except that, thankfully, and I will say this nice thing about Elon. I actually have a lot of nice things to say about Elon. Not everything I think about the man is something to be criticized. Some things are. This is not one of them. Well, the fact that he's creating robots at all is one of them, but the fact that he did not go out of his way to give it a fucking human face is definitely points in his favor.
His general idea about how AI should be handled is what makes him the only person that I would come even close to trust handling something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the Consumer Electronics Show 2022, Deutsches Museum Nuremberg.
Welcome to Deutsches Museum Nuremberg.
OMR Festival 2022, hosted by Vodafone and Decapitates.
I just said I'm allergic to human skin.
It did. It
did. I'll go look at it, Suka. You don't have to force
it. Yeah, that's you're not allergic to anything. You're a machine. Shut the fuck up.
No, that's it saying, don't touch me, freak.
Yeah. Oh.
Hosted by Vodafone and Decapitates 2022. It has now joined its fellow human employees at the Museum of the Future in Dubai. The visitors can interact with Amica and have a discussion with it. Number 1, Sophia.
You know what? I've seen this one. This was the one that wasn't it used in Silicon Valley, the TV show?
It might have been. I don't think I got that.
At least the model was. The model, I think the model looks like the one from Silicon Valley. Towards the end.
Well, right here it looks a little bit like Virginia Madsen, but especially after the fire in Candyman. Again, I'm glad somebody got that reference. Because she gets all burnt up and shit.
You did it again. You shouldn't explain it.
I can't help myself.
I just haven't seen Candyman. That's why I didn't laugh.
Yeah, and you don't get it. I do. And that is funnier to me.
Yeah, this might have been the one from Silicon Valley. Like I said, I haven't. I got like 2 seasons into it, and that's as far as I got. So I don't remember there being robots yet. They were still doing the whole like middle out thing.
Yeah, it's totally her.
Huh. Might be. Well, apparently it's real.
You all must have heard about Sophia. The first humanoid to be given Saudi Arabian citizenship.
There it is.
Ah. That's weird. They barely recognize women as it is.
Well, this isn't really a woman, is it?
Right.
Loopholes. It's all about the loopholes.
No? Well, don't worry because we'll be talking about it anyways. Sophia is the elder sister of Grace, the humanoid nurse we talked about a few minutes ago. Sophia is a social humanoid robot developed by Hanson Robotics. It was first activated on February the 14th, 2016 and was revealed to the world in 2016 at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Sophia is...
Did you catch that? If it was brought online on February 14th, right? I got $1 that says that's a Saturday. So it was made public. It was probably started up on Friday the 13th because it's going to eat all of your souls.
Yeah. I look, I'm looking at this thing and I'm just like why, again, back to the why give it a human face, especially if you're not going to give it like, human looking hair. This looks like that bitch from Ex Machina.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that this whole time.
Yeah. Who, if I remember right, was in fact a sex bot.
Yeah.
So this is some I will give credit to the person who designed this face. This is one of the most realistic looking ones so far, which is interesting because it's one of the older ones. But I suppose that just means they've had more time to work on it, right? Well, it's creepy though. Looking at you with those dead eyes.
I don't have a problem with that. You get the same thing at 2 a.m. in a bus station bathroom.
Yeah, but at least it's warm.
I mean, it depends on what time of year it is or what kind of junk they're on, but yeah, for the most part.
It's modeled after Egyptian Queen Nefertiti, British actress Audrey Hepburn, David Hanson's wife, Amanda Hanson. The launch of Sophia has revolutionized the robot industry, and it was one of the first humanoid robots that could actually interact with humans. It uses
It would
microphones,
have been Jimmy
cameras,
Fallon
and
that had her on the show.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that just robot on robot crime?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, he ordered one of these things.
artificial intelligence to interact with humans and answer their questions. Over the years, Sophia has attended various face-to-face meetings with leading figures around the world. The humanoid talked on various topics on several stages as a panel member and presenter at high-level conferences. Ever since Sophia was first activated, it is being constantly developed and improved to become a better version. It is now able to imitate human gestures, change facial expressions, maintain a healthy discussion with humans, and use data to evaluate its performance. Most importantly, Sophia is now a public figure
Democrat.
that attends events and raises awareness of the future. If you enjoy,
it's an activist. It's a literal activist.
Yes. It literally looks at itself, decides it did well, and does more of the same insanity because it has judged itself infallible.
Kind of makes you look at that little Norwegian twat a little differently now too, huh?
What's her face?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a
the
second.
Right?
Is she a robot?
She never fucking blinks, dude.
And she's got like that round face, that kind of like Downsy look. Like,
yeah.
Huh.
So, once again, I'm gonna shout out Motech for putting this out for us and all that. Definitely go check him out. This was a very interesting video. You know, like obviously we have our issues with the topic, but it's not with Motech. Motech does some cool work. So,
oh yeah, nothing against Motech. They just made a video.
yeah. Greta Trollberg. I mean Thunberg. Yeah. Just doesn't look quite like she does. Kind of look a little bit like they stretched some rubber over like a chassis.
You know what? If you give the Q-tards that theory, they'll make it real in a week.
Shit, I might do it.
They'll be all like, they've been trolling them out in front of us for this whole time.
I gotta go create me a couple of fucking Reddit accounts. I'm gonna get this fucking party started. Oh man. But yeah, that was the Japanese thing. And I know, like I said, that video is a year old, but I just ran across it a couple of days ago and I thought that was something worth going over.
Yeah, it was fun to go through.
So anytime I can shit on fucking machines, I will take that opportunity to do it.
You know, if you pick the right group, they'll make it shaped like anybody you in particular you'd like to poop on. Just saying.
Oh yeah. Static. There's a couple things back here I haven't looked at.
Yeah, I was just throwing randomness out.
Oh, okay.
The last one is apparently Kamala Harris's new day job.
Interesting.
Careful. I mean, we know what her night job is, so like, careful.
Oh, is this? That's actually really funny considering what we started the show talking about.
If you're talking about the Trump truth thing. And that's actually legit. Like, a lot of people are talking about it. It's not just some bullshit.
Let's see. Kirby dunked him. There we go. All right, bring it up. Hopefully this plays all right. Now where the fuck is my cursor? I can't even see my goddamn cursor. There it is. All right, I got you. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I hadn't listened to it with the volume on. I fucking hate ASMR.
Try to
fucking
tell you,
gross, and it's weird. But this is hysterical. Yep. I'm not showing any more of that. I'm not playing any more of that. But it's very funny. What's this? This other one here. I'm gonna take a look at that real quick. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. This is from D-Day Cobra, Jeremy Prime on the old Twig Twats.
He was just the first one that I saw. There's a lot of people posting that.
Yeah, I just want to give him credit because it's his shit we're using. But he's reposting this from DJT. I will not be inviting former Ambassador Nikki Haley or former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to join the Trump administration, which is currently in formation. I very much enjoyed and appreciated working with them previously and would like to thank them for their service to our country. Make America great again. Fuck yeah.
That's what people really wanted to hear.
That is what we call learning from previous mistakes, people.
Yeah. That's fucking incredible.
A lot of people
like said,
are freaking out over that Fox News thing that came out yesterday with Pompeo on there. Now, I hadn't heard anything about Nikki Haley, but anyway. And then also Pompeo spoke at his last rally, and they were like, this is looking like Pompeo's back.
Yeah, I don't hate that news. That's some pretty cool shit. I only have a couple of things I wanted to go over. I was going to talk about Tony Todd today, but we talked about him a little bit last night on Abyss Musings, and we did a bit of a tribute to him on Beelzebub last night. But for those out there who missed it, a legend has passed. Tony Todd, one of the great actors of our time, great character actor, and all around great dude, passed away yesterday at the age of 69. So R.I.P. dude. And thanks for all of the entertainment for so many things for years.
Much love.
Yeah. So, let's see. So the Pompeo thing, was that well, hold on just a second.
Huh?
Was that the whole rally where he was going off about fucking wiping the cartels out?
I don't know. I just know it was his last one.
I need to pull up a fucking picture of Pompeo because I don't actually remember what he looks like off the top of my head.
He's been talking about essentially going to war with the cartels. Like, if he does half the things he's talking about, the cartels are not going to be happy.
Well,
are we hearing about this? I mean,
well, we could be, because this might lead to your precious annexation of Mexico, because the cartels are Mexico.
Manifest Destiny was just the beginning. We can take the world. Everyone be protected under the Constitution. Managed democracy is the way forward, folks.
So I think this was him. So I'm gonna share this because I saw this the other day. And it was kind of interesting. Let's see. Again, where's the fucking cursor? Here we go. All right, here we go.
That looks like the RNC.
I got another message. Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization. He's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done.
So I don't know about you guys, but that sounds like intent to declare war to me.
So there's a video of Trump out there saying that he's going to treat the cartels like he did ISIS.
Yeah, no, I get all that, but I guess my point is that the Mexican government is the cartels. If we go to war against their cartels, we are going to war against Mexico.
Theoretically, not technically, right? Like not on the world stage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you, but like it's there's no other way to do it because they're so entrenched in everything that operates that country, right? That in order to root that, it's the same kind of problem that you have with Hamas in Palestine. It's like their tendrils are in literally everything. So in order to root them out, you got to go deep, and that's gonna be
in the video where he's talking about how he's going to wipe them out like he did to ISIS. He also talks about how he's going to release all of the funding and such that has happened within like the documents of that our government has done. I'm what he was saying. I was like, oh, so we're going to finally figure out what was up with Fast and the Furious.
Right. Jeez, man, you're just going to give guns away, but not to Americans. How weird.
That's wild, man. I don't know. I honestly, people are so afraid of like an American empire, right? Everybody's talking about American hegemony and American empire and like down with the colonialists and all this shit because we've got military bases fucking everywhere on Earth. We control the seas with our Navy, and everybody's beholden to the petrodollar and so on and so forth. And they keep pushing this out there. And I say, if they want empire, let's just fucking give it to them. Let's annex Canada and Mexico and most of Central America, right? We can work our way down to South America if we feel it necessary later. Let's fucking, if NATO wants and the UN wants our money, then they can bow to our will. We'll take over Europe too.
What's a little consolidation amongst empires? I mean,
look, it isn't hegemony. It's not hegemony. If it was, we would own all of you motherfuckers. Just saying. So y'all stay conservative. I'm okay with this. Well, that's the problem. That's the other problem with empire, right? Right. Empires don't vote for a new leader every 4 years. Hegemony doesn't swap things out. You end up with dynasties or that sort of thing. It becomes a monarchy of sorts, right? So there are all kinds of reasons why we shouldn't just take over everybody, because it would change what we are fundamentally, first and foremost. So, I mean, in Canada's case and Mexico's case, actually, both of their governments are completely fucking over their people. So, they like you guys saw that shit where the president of Mexico came out. And she was like, we're not endorsing or recognizing Donald Trump as the president of the United States. And I was like, that's rich coming from a woman who is claims to be a climate scientist, right? Is in bed with the WEF and is backed by them, and had 37 of her political opponents murdered so that she could win the last election.
Sir, you could have stopped that sentence with coming from a woman.
Yeah, I forgot. All of her opponents were fucking killed.
Yup. By the cartels.
Mysteriously.
By the cartels who put her in office. Yeah.
That's right.
If anybody's not a legitimate fucking ruler, a legitimate leader.
You want to know what's the only thing I know about her? And it's just because of Twitter brain rot. Not mine, but everyone else's. I know she's a Jew.
Well, yeah, she claims to be a Sephardic Jew. I think it was her grandfather or whatever immigrated over, so I don't think she is Sephardic. I think she's Ashkenazi, but because the Sephardics
isn't like everyone Ashkenazi according to all those DNA tests that people get done.
Right, but I think she actually is. I think like her grandfather immigrated over from like fucking Munich. to Mexico and all that, and they've been there ever since. But like Sephardic Jews, for instance, they have Jewish ancestry that goes back multiple generations, and isn't necessarily like it comes from the Spaniard side, kind of. So it's a whole thing. But anyway, yeah, she is a Jew as well. I tend not to lean on that specifically because I'm not, anti-Jew necessarily. I don't really care one way or the other. As far as I'm concerned, there are groups of bad people, some of whom are Jewish, who are doing bad things, but I don't apply that to every Jew I meet. Like she may be an evil person. I don't think that has anything to do with her being Jewish.
Oh yeah, me neither. It's just like, you know how Twitter is.
Yeah.
Of course she is.
Oh, dude, you guys saw that? You did. You showed it on your show the other day on I think it was fucking the election stream the other day. I sent it to you, that retarded post that fucking Nick Fuentes put out.
Which one? The one about him endorsing Kamala?
Yeah, because Trump is pro-Jew and Israel owns him and our country, so he was going to go Kamala, and I was like, she's married to a Jew, dumbass.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're anti-Jew, like there are no good choices for you here.
I think I'm allergic to Jews.
Do we get? Is there a chance we get the? What's his name?
Hey, Shock.
What's that fucker's name? The guy that was fat and was leading everyone on.
Oh, Chris Christie?
No. The YouTuber who does the mukbangs and put on all the weight. And the whole thing was
Nikocado.
Yeah. Do we
muted over here screaming it?
Do we get the Nikocado fucking reveal on dipshit? Now I can't think of his name. The one we were just talking about, the Jew
Fuentes being like a homosexual.
Well, yeah, because everything he does is horseshit. Like everything he says is he's so not well thought out. Is there any chance that he's just fucking with this whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nikocado.
So here's the thing. It's like there's a growing number of people who are convinced that not only Nick Fuentes, but his entire Groypers movement are all feds.
Okay.
Like they're deliberately stoking certain fires in order to start shit, and they're doing
that would
so
almost make sense with like how fucking ass backwards his thinking is.
Yeah.
And so they're just trying to stir shit.
Well, and the sad thing is they kind of co-opted the whole America First slogan, a long time ago, before, like obviously people have been saying it fucking forever, but as far as the America First movement, that's kind of their thing, which sucks because they're not America First. They're white Christian. Everybody else get the fuck out of America first. Is what they are, which is really funny considering that he's Hispanic and and given the average mustache he wears, probably sucks a little dick. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And he may not be. He just may be one of those people who's intellectually very intelligent, but like also very, very stupid at the same time. Because he's not like on a basic level. He's not a stupid guy, right?
Sir, there's no possible way that you can be very intelligent and stupid at the same time unless you are paid to do so.
I disagree. Have you met me?
I have. And while here's the thing, I trust you in your ability to investigate something to find out whether or not you can do it. And if you can't do it, you'll be like, I can't do that. I guess I'm just stupid. But that does not make you stupid, sir. That just means you do stupid shit. It's different.
I guess that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like he says a bunch of stupid shit. I think he knows better.
Paid.
No.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know if he knows better or not. I lean towards he's either full retard or a fed.
Yeah. Him being a Fed doesn't mean he doesn't know better, though.
Oh, so you could be a Fed and a full retard. This is true. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, I mean, incompetence is kind of a job requirement for some of these agencies.
No. You never go full retard.
Yeah. Carrie, that's the insinuation that he's Mexican. He's got definitely Hispanic ancestry.
His last name's Fuentes. I guess he could be Spanish.
He could be Spanish, but he could also be Mexican. Or hell, he could be Cubano for all I know, except I think he's a little bit light-skinned for that. But
Venezuelan.
Yeah. So, yep.
Or Brazilian or Chilean.
Yeah. Brazil actually would probably make a little bit more sense, except that no, it would, because it's one of the most phenotype diverse areas in South America. You got people from all over the fucking world there, and in large numbers. You know how many Japanese descended people live in fucking Brazil?
A lot. A whole bunch. Like a whole bunch. After World War II, they flooded that place.
Mm-hmm.
Before World War II, they were already one of the main demographics moving there.
Yep. It's a ton, that's for sure. But Aaron is right. We're coming up on 3 hours, so what's this typical Sam Exile's next stream set? Yeah. We'll get there. We are coming up on 3 hours, which is we haven't done in a while. Actually, we haven't gone this long in a while. But there is one more thing I wanted to show everybody before we leave. If you caught Beelzebub last night, not only did you catch everything that was said, but you probably also caught this little compilation that was brought to us by a serious man here on YouTube and Twix.
No.
Static was watching. He knows. It's pretty funny. We were talking about King Chuck of England. So, if you're English, don't get your panties in a twist over this. But I enjoyed the shit out of this, and we'll close the show out after this.
King Charlie.
That fucking guy.
Yeah, he was. He was definitely. And
I know, huh? Him and Klaus Schwab, their little love affair.
Because, Chuck is just Klaus Schwab's butt boy anyway. So
they got all that power after the kind of turnaround. They did nothing for it. Like,
not at all.
Pills. There's pills for that.
So he has retention, whatever.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a close-up of his?
Oh yeah, forever. Yeah.
For real.
Yummy.
Yeah. Tree trunk.
Ooh.
I don't think he's taken a single ring off his for about 4 decades because there's no way he could get them off. Pills. There's pills for that.
My father-in-law had a similar problem, and they actually will drain out of you if they need to. So,
Come on.
Gosh, I feel so bad for him.
Sausage fingers.
Yeah. I mean,
well played, a serious man. Well played.
Well, dude, well done, and thank you for that. I'm going to treasure it forever. It's one of my favorite fucking on the fly. During a live stream, we were still on when he revealed it to us. Fucking edits of our shit ever. That was good. This has been a fun show. It's kind of nice to get to talk about some shit that doesn't necessarily have to do with fucking world politics as well. The robot thing. Although I suppose we did find a way to tie all of that in. But either way, this was
going to be hard to not do that after this week.
Magic Cheetos.
I am going to try and shift a little bit away from all politics all the time, just because I'm personally kind of burnt out on it. So we're gonna start looking at some other stuff. I got some ideas about Antarctica. Although now that I think about it, I could probably make that fucking political too.
Yeah. Do you have the theories about
First of all,
the Nazi
it's
bases down in
racist.
Antarctica?
No, sir. You don't have to go that far. I can grab my tinfoil hat right here. It's racist because it's white.
Yeah, we might. That's true. That's true. But we might end up. So Wendigood put out a really cool video about the various conspiracy theories about Antarctica and stuff, and we might EFAP the fuck out of that later because it's a pretty cool fucking video.
I love Wendigood.
Yeah, plus it's a fascinating place. Antarctica is. Apparently, there's a spot in it where gravity works differently, which is interesting. So we'll get into that in another show, though. So yeah, Static. Let's go around the horn and let people know where we can be found. Start with Static.
Yeah, so you can find me on my channel, Static 2020. Monday nights we do Monday Night Bloodbath, which is more like actual DC politics, and then on Thursdays we've got the weekend pregame where me and the panel go over cringy things that you wish you never saw on the internet and socio-political topics. You know, I like watching people. I have a problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you're going to be able to find me streaming, probably streaming tonight. Some that new Starship Troopers with everyone will be on Dermy's channel, on Horny Alf's channel, and all across YouTube.
Awesome sauce. Sounds like a good time. Squatch. I know you mentioned the thing earlier today. What do you have coming up?
I'm not doing the Naughty Corner Tuesday. I've actually got to go to Savannah. I'm going to be going to a that Whose Line Is It Anyway showing.
Nice.
I think that's right. It's something like that. Anyway, some comedy thing that I'm going to. So Thursday, I'm doing a interview with Jack Talcott. If anybody knows who that is, that should be very interesting. That channel's got some lore to it, and I'm curious how it's going to play out. I don't really have a whole lot else planned. I mean, I'm kind of burnt out on the whole YouTube concept thing. I think I've been doing too much work for other channels. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
Right? Just stop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
No, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of keep you tethered to this one, so you know that's on me.
I've got other channels that I actually like put together formats for and stuff, and I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, your turn.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Before I go into all that shit, I want to thank everybody who was paying attention to the show today. By the way, if you're in Sasquatch's chat, I don't know if he's transferred over the description to that one. On my channel, you can find all of our descriptions and all of our links in the description below on a bunch of people, not just the ones you see here. So there's that. And if I remember too late later, I'll go and add the link for the Motec video that we just saw in there as well. As long as I remember to, I will try. But he's a big channel. He's got over 1 million fucking subs, so he should be pretty easy to find too, you know, in the search bar. But definitely go check that shit out. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us while we meander through another Saturday afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. As far as myself, the next thing I'm doing is here in about an hour and a half. I'll be over helping out with Exiled Lioness 2 as she goes live. So I will be behind the scenes and in the chat there, and we'll see what happens after during the show, I guess, rather. And next place you can find me is on The Renaissance Nerd on Monday for a show called Mellow Mondays, where we just talk about nerd shit. You know, don't really get into anything important, just fun nerd shit. Then back here next Friday on Samiel the Infamous for Abyssal Musings. So we're getting into our next arc a little bit. Road to Halloween is closed down, but we're going to bring back the Monsters Ball monster debate here next week. So getting into round 2 for that. Round 1 winners are being collated as we speak. And then you can find me on Devil Made Me Do It's channel, Beelzehub, for a show called Beelzepub in the middle of the damn night or real early Saturday morning, where we also just kind of bullshit. That clip we just showed was from that show this morning. So otherwise, that's about it. That's about all I got. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate everybody on panel here. Static Squash, always good to see you guys. Everybody out there in YouTube land, just remember it could always be worse. It could be raining overs. Night, everybody.